dear students, good evening to all of you. Welcome to you all on the IMS Gate Academy YouTube channel. Now student, we are starting the detailed exam analysis as well as the detailed exam solution of all the memory based question for civil afternoon session Gate 23 exam. So if you have appeared for forenoon session or if you have appeared for the afternoon session, the session going to be very important for you because you guys has opportunity to analyze your performance or to self-evaluate your marks, as well as you will also get some idea about the difficulty level as well as the cutoff for this particular exam. So first of all, just share the link of this video, my dear students, so that maximum students can get benefit of this, because today only exam conducted. Today is 12 Feb and the exam was conducted from 2:30 to 5:30 and we are live at 5:40. I am just telling you because maybe some student will watch this session after 2 months, after 3 months in the recording form also. So they should also know that IMS Gate Academy provided all the question solution on the same day. Just after 10 minutes of exam we are started the live event. Now student, first of all, I would like to invite our some civil expert faculty members, and I would also like to discuss something about forenoon session and what is their expectation about the afternoon exam. So first of all, I would like to invite our expert faculty member, Mr. Sandeep sir. Please come.
Thank you, sir. First of all, thank you.
Yes, yes.
And I hope all the civil engineers have done better in the morning session, and
Correct.
I hope the same in the evening also.
Okay, so Sandeep, I have one question to you. You have seen many questions from forenoon session, and we have a detailed analysis session, and we have conducted more than 4-hour live session.
Yeah.
So, what was your overall experience as far as question difficulty level is concerned, and what do you think about the difficulty level, as well as according to you, what should be the cutoff expected?
Sir, actually, to be frank, the cutoff will be around 35 marks because
okay,
the
in
paper
general.
in general.
Okay.
Why? Because students, if you are writing the morning session, the thing here, what I would like to tell you is, especially in geotechnical, we have almost 17 marks are observed from geotechnical.
Geotech, okay.
And we are happy to say that whatever we have mentioned in the last moment strategy, we have that video available also.
On
All
YouTube
the
channel,
topics in geotech, hydrology, in all the subjects,
Very good, very good.
we got that, and it is proudly, sir.
Very good.
You can watch this video in the live also.
So dear student, on our YouTube channel, the video is still available. You can go through that and you can watch that video. We have made just before 2 or 3 days back, we have made one videos where expected concepts, most expected
last
types
moment
of
strategy.
last moment strategy. Yes, yes.
And one more thing, students, whenever you are writing the GATE exam, the most important thing what I have observed is, please go through the previous year questions, prepare the formulas for each and every chapter, then come up with the short notes.
Correct.
If you prepare these 3 strategies and if you maintain consistency, then definitely
Hello,
you are
Pradyumna. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Pradyumna, have you appeared for today's exam, forenoon or afternoon? Anyone? So dear student, we are just supposed to start very soon, but we are waiting for the live audience here. Just share it maximum so that maximum students can get benefited from this, and we'll also have a motivation that if you are commenting your experience also, then it will be great.
Definitely, sir, because I even when students was satisfied 100%, as a teacher, we also feel proud.
Correct.
Because ultimately we want to give the best to the students.
So I would also like to tell you, my dear student, proudly, IMS Gate Academy conducted all the live events, whether we talk about computer science, mechanical, EC, electrical, instrumentation, and civil 1, civil 2. So this year, IIT Kanpur has conducted the GATE exam, and student only civil, only civil branch, which is having 2 sessions. It itself shows that the number of candidates appeared for GATE 23 exams are, as compared to other branch, here the number of candidates
Sir,
are
actually
high.
the thing, if you see, my dear students, if you consider the public sector undertaking companies,
Correct.
mechanical and civil, we have 29 PSUs which are looking through the GATE exam.
Very good.
So that might be the one of the reasons.
Correct.
And especially for civil core engineering, if they want to have a success in their core,
Correct.
definitely they should look for the GATE exam. And as you have told, sir, there are around 1 lakh students, 1 lakh 5,000 around. But the thing is that students, when you are writing the GATE exam, consistency is very important.
Correct,
Sir, I am
correct.
stressing on this word because when we see the questions, they are not to the higher level.
Higher
They are not hard. They are moderate,
Moderate
level.
level only.
But you have to remember in civil, the only challenging part is we have around 12 to 14 subjects.
Correct, correct.
No other branch has.
Most
So
lengthy,
when
correct,
you
correct.
when you have all the subjects on your finger,
Correct.
definitely you will have the success on your page.
Exactly. If I compare the other part, na, even if we will add our exercise books and theory book, recently I made one video where in the electronics we are having 24 books and in CS we have 23 books, but civil is the only branch where we have a total 30 books. Yes.
Sir. Sir,
So
and
that
one
is why
more
you are
thing,
saying
sir,
that.
as you are, sir, as Ankur sir is
Uh-huh.
telling, sir is also very focused in building good exercise book because sir intention and our team intention is here is when we give the best examples and best questions, definitely those practice will help the students, I'm thinking, sir.
Correct, correct, correct. So next I would like to invite our next faculty member, Mr. Pratik sir. So Mr. Pratik sir, please come.
Good
So-
evening, good evening, sir.
And I hope that you are also many students appeared for the
Yes, sir.
morning forenoon
Yeah.
session exam
Yes,
also.
sir, yes, sir.
And so, what was your expectation from the afternoon session?
Sir,
Like if you have seen that that some popular topic from which generally examiner used to take a class questions and all, but this time in the forenoon session, no question has been framed for that particular topic. You have seen such
sir,
type of?
what we have seen over the years for two sessions that are conducted for civil engineering students, one session can be a lighter session, but the other session comes out to be around moderate to tough.
Moderate tough.
Right. So we haven't seen any question from the BOD or the other parts of solid waste management also.
Okay.
For air pollution also, we haven't seen much of the question in the forenoon session. But it is expected that more number of questions can be asked from air pollution, can be from the treatment of raw water, especially from the sedimentation analysis. So these are just one of the key areas from where, sir, the questions can be framed from environmental
Correct,
engineering.
correct, correct.
When I talk about strength of material, sir, the questions are very easy.
Very easy. Yeah.
And we have told our students in that video itself regarding just uploaded few days back when we were talking about this mechanical engineering, right?
Okay.
So this mechanical engineering paper was totally more application based. So
Okay,
currently
okay.
we have received one data, sir.
Yes, yes. So right now we got the data from our student side. Many of students just sending the data. So first of all, my dear student, if I talk about the pattern of question, so in gate 23, I was just writing here, gate 2023, we are talking about civil. We are talking about civil and afternoon session. We are talking about afternoon session. Afternoon session. So guys, here if I talk about MSQs, the number of MSQs 11. If I compare to forenoon session, in forenoon I think 9 only.
Yeah.
In forenoon 9, but here is 11.
Here
Yes.
it is 11.
If I talk about the numerically entry question, the total number of questions are 19 and MCQs are 35. And you all know guys, in the MCQ you have a negative marking. So what do you think about this pattern? Like it is expected now?
Sir,
Little bit?
this we have already told to our students that if you want to just qualify GATE examination, you can crack your MCQ.
Okay.
But sir, for getting a good rank, you need to crack these MSQ and numerical answer type.
Correct.
Because these questions does not have negative marking, sir.
Exactly.
But as you can see the weightage, the quantity of these questions are huge. And most of these questions are of 2 marks.
2
sir.
marks, correct.
Right.
Correct.
So these questions are there. So
Yes,
Akash,
19, 11, 19 and 35, correct, Vipin, correct. Okay. So, like generally students are thinking that, ki, sir, in the MCQ, we are having 35 questions and we have a scope of negative marking.
yes, sir.
And many students are thinking that, ki, sir, यहाँ तो negative marking है ही नहीं, तो हम तो कुछ भी लगा देंगे.
Yes.
But my dear student, in numerically entry type and in numerical answer type question, you have one drawback also. There is a no option elimination option.
Yes.
Because you have the 4 options now. So
Uh-huh.
many time you have opportunity to eliminate some options.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if
sir.
out of 4 options, if you are eliminate 2 options now,
Yeah,
then
we
you
are-
have to guess only for 2 options.
For 2 options.
And by the way, for such type of question where you have a 50-50, and that time there is a possibility that you can correct
that
also.
something can be, but for
But
this
here you have to
numerical,
be specific.
it's like, sir, entire numerical thing is
Numerical and-
available, right?
Like if the final answer is 2,
Yeah.
the range should be like 1.99 to 2.01,
Yeah,
like that.
2.01, right?
So you cannot type anything here. So students generally think that numerically entry question. No, my dear student, here you have a one drawback. And what is the drawback? There is a no option. There is a no scope of option elimination. And those who are preparing hard for the civil exam or any other branch even, you can also observe that in the past year they will solve the PYQs. If you have seen the last 15-year PYQs also, you can analyze, my dear student, in many MCQ there is a scope to eliminate the options.
Yes, sir.
They are
Or-
intentionally designed some such type of option so that a smart student can save the time
Yeah, exactly,
without
sir.
doing calculation.
Exactly, sir.
Student can
yeah.
comment on the answer.
For MCQ, na sir, we can go with the option elimination.
Huh.
For MSQ,
Huh.
there is no partial marking, right? If
Correct.
there are 3 options correct, you have to correctly mark the 3 options.
Exactly.
In the last session, sir, one of the student has asked me that whether any partial marking is there or not. So no partial marking is there. And as sir told that for numerical answer type question, there is just a small blank available to you.
there's smaller
You
window,
can fill
correct.
any number, right? But the possibility of that number getting correct just by guessing is literally 0.
Correct,
So you need to solve these numerical answer type question and have very conceptual understanding to for this, sir, multiple select question.
Exactly.
One more thing, sir, I would like to add here. In the forenoon session, we have a question from structural analysis. Some huge structure is there, right? It contains n number of member for a truss. But
It looks like a complex question.
It looks like a very complex question. But when you see that question correctly, out of 12 members that are present in that truss, sir, almost 8 members are zero force members.
Okay.
Right, so we need to only deal with those members, and that can be calculated very easily.
Easily.
So for gate, my dear students, I have already told you for repeated number of times. It is
Total number of MSQs are 11, but Akshay, if you are asking for MSQ, then total number of MSQs 11 has been asked in afternoon. If I will compare with the forenoon, in the forenoon we have only 9 questions from that.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Yes, you are saying something.
Yes, sir. I was telling that GATE is the graduate aptitude test in engineering, sir. Until and unless you develop your technical aptitude, your GATE will not be means a kind of examination, right? If you develop your technical aptitude, you read the question properly, you understand the question properly, it is a very easy examination, my
So
dear.
I'm also agree with you that in all the branches even, examiner generally, what was the intention of examiner? Examiner intentionally created a complex type of question.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
it's look like a very complex question, and an average student or a student who has not prepared well,
Yes, sir.
even not try to attempt. So
yes,
what the examiner intention is not giving you examiner. What examiner want? Examiner want that you will get negative marking. Examiner don't want that you will get 0 marking. Okay. So sometime examiner will intentionally create some type of complex question, and where unnecessary redundant theoretical part is given, which is not at all required for the solution.
Yes, sir.
So you have to read the question carefully, and if you have attempted, if you have prepared well, then definitely your confidence level is high, and definitely you can attempt it. Okay.
Exactly.
So next I would like to invite Mr. Ankit sir. Please come. I think you have also appeared for forenoon paper.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello, dear students.
So my question to you, because
Yes,
you have appeared, so you can analyze in a better way, because you have appeared for GATE 2023 exam that conducted in forenoon session. So what is your expectation that, as you told that the morning paper was moderate only. So this question, shall we expect moderate, or it's around tough, moderate to tough?
Sir, if we talk about this particular paper, so I'm just analyzing that this paper should also be near to moderate.
Near to moderate.
Right.
Okay.
If we talk about the last paper or the forenoon session paper, it was just below average.
Okay.
Right. It is not on the tougher side. If we talk about the average, it was on the lower side of that
Lower
average.
side, okay.
So mainly if we talk about the different subjects, in different subjects, they have asked mainly the questions from the most expected topics.
Very good.
But there are some subjects like environmental engineering. They have not asked about the BOD. They have not asked about the
Correct.
mainly the properties,
The
right,
topic was
characteristics
expected. Correct.
of your particular wastewater, neither from the characteristic of domestic water. So they have asked mainly the questions from solid waste management, questions from air pollutions. So that we have seen.
If I talk about engineering maths and aptitude, so what you have seen in forenoon session, it is around easy or moderate. What?
If we talk about engineering mathematics part and aptitude part, it is also on the easier side.
Easier side. Okay.
If we talk about aptitude part, so 2 or 3 questions, they are directly based on the calculation of shaded area.
Some geometrical questions are there.
Yeah,
Yes, I see.
shaded area calculations,
Correct. Correct.
which we have also
And
told in
two
our
questions
analysis.
And less. And 2 questions are very easy from English side.
Yes, in English also they have asked just the simple questions.
So generally, I generally told in my classes also that if you are preparing for the gate, we are not expecting a very hard question from aptitude side actually.
Yes, mainly in aptitude, they will just ask some of the question you just can answer with your basic mathematics.
Correct. So general aptitude, always in the gate exam, you will not seen any questions which is even CAT level exam like that.
Yes.
So here examiner want to test your technical knowledge, and including aptitude part is there, but aptitude English is also easy, and generally even in all the branches we have seen general aptitude, if student has is even a average student can also appeared or we can say that attempt well in an exam, then he or she can easily score 7 marks out of 10.
Yes, sir.
Or
Definitely
out
we
of-
can say.
even
15.
if I will include maths also, like numerical ability as well as verbal ability, then it is 15 marks. Then out of 15, an average student also in the worst can easily handle 11 marks.
Yes, 11 to 12 marks
11
is
to 12
easy to
marks.
score
Easy
if we
to
talk
score,
about the
correct.
forenoon session.
Forenoon
And also we have seen in the other branches also, the paper was this aptitude part, it was quite easy.
Quite easy. Okay.
So we'll just see if we have got any question or not.
Ah,
So can we start this particular analysis? We are getting one question in soil mechanics.
okay, very good. Very good.
Right. So from geotechnical engineering, we are just getting one question. Okay. So how many of students from the forenoon session here, and how many students are from this particular afternoon session?
Question आ गया?
As we can see that
Very good.
forenoon session students
Question आ गया?
also want to see that what was
Are
the
you
level
ready
of
with question?
afternoon session, right? As we know that finally it is going to get normalized. So it is important for those students also who are from the forenoon session that what was the level. Also the afternoon session students, you can go to the playlist later after this particular analysis, and you can see that what was the level of the forenoon session, right? So we are getting one question from geotechnical engineering. Right, so what this question says, the question, it is from pile foundation. So question is asked from pile foundation. So we have seen in the morning paper also, there was question related to the group efficiency of pile, right? On the basis of that Converse-Leverage formula, they have asked one question. So in this particular forenoon session, they have again given a question on the analytical method for the calculation of load carrying capacity of pile, right? So it was given as a pile of diameter 600 mm and length is given as 8 meter is given in cohesive soil. The soil is given as cohesive soil, right? If it is cohesive soil means our phi value was given as 0 degree. Clear? Also, the cohesion value is given to you. The cohesion value it is given as 25 kilopascal. The cohesion value it is given as 25 kilopascal, right? So this is the particular dimension of pile, and these are the properties of soil. Also, the unit weight of soil is given to you. Unit weight of soil. So unit weight of soil, it is given as 19 kilonewton per meter cube. 19 kilonewton per meter cube, right? And also factor of safety is also given to you. Factor of safety, it is given as 3. And the question it is asking is to calculate to calculate load carrying capacity or safe load carrying capacity, to calculate safe load carrying capacity of pile, load carrying capacity of pile, load carrying capacity of pile. It was asked in kilonewton. Now students, just let me know if any other data was also given, that if this particular pile, it is friction pile or if it is end bearing pile. Is there something mentioned like this, that the pile is friction pile or it is end bearing pile? Just tell me if you have attempted this particular question. Just tell me if anything was mentioned regarding the type of pile, friction pile, end bearing pile, floating pile, any keyword if it was written or not. Yes or no? As according to data which was given to us, it is alpha, it is given as 1 and NC was given to be 9. NC was given to be 9, right? So what will be our load carrying capacity? We know that for clay soil, when their pile is in clay soil, we know that the load carrying capacity of pile, it is given as the end bearing, the load carrying capacity due to end bearing, that is 9 into C into area at base plus alpha into C bar into AS, that is load carrying capacity due to side friction, right? So let's suppose if this is your particular pile, if this is your pile, right? So we know that the load carrying capacity of pile QUP, it will be due to the side friction. It will be due to side friction, right? So side friction value, it is alpha into C bar multiplied by the side area, multiplied by the side area, right? The circular section was given to you, multiply by side area, and there will be end bearing resistance. There will also be end bearing resistance, which can be calculated as the end bearing resistance, it is given by 9C multiplied by area at base. Clear? Now what will be our area at base? Area at base, it is circular, it is circular. So pi by 4 into d square. What is the diameter given to you? 600 mm. We can write it in meter, 0.6 meter, and it's a square. What will be area at sides? Can we say that area at side, it will be equal to this particular parameter, circular parameter, multiply by this particular length of pile, multiply by this length of pile, right? That is pi into d multiply by L, right? And d is given as 0.6 meter, length is given as 8 meter, length is given as 8 meter, right? So I can put the values, it is 9 into C, right? It is CNC into AB. This particular formula generally you got from which particular concept? From your Scampton's theory, right? This is nothing but CNC, and what will be NC value for long pile? When your gamma into DF or when your DF by B ratio, it will be greater than 2.5, you will get it as 9, so 9C also it was given, right? So it is 9 into C, cohesion value is 25 into area at base, pi by 4 into 0.6 square, 0.6 square plus alpha value is given as 1 into average cohesion on the sides, as only one cohesion value is given. So we can assume the soil to be homogeneous and isotropic. So we can assume that the cohesion value throughout it is same. So average value will also be only equal to C, and C value it is given to us as, the cohesion value is given as 25 kilopascal. It is given as 25 kilopascal. Multiply by area at sides. It will be pi into diameter, it is 0.6 into length, that is 8. That is 8. Right? This will be your QUP value. Just tell me what is the value you are getting from this particular calculation. What is the value you are getting? Just let me know. So if we calculate this particular value, the QUP the load carrying capacity of pile, we are getting it as 440.61. 440.61 kilonewton. Now this is your load carrying capacity. It was asked to calculate the safe load carrying capacity. So what will be Q? Safe load carrying capacity, it will be ultimate load carrying capacity divided by factor of safety. That is 440.61 divided by 3. Right? And if you calculate this particular value, you are going to get it as 146.87 kilonewton. It is 146.87 kilonewton. Just let me know in the chat box if you have got the same answer or not. Just tell me. Just tell me if you got the same answer or not. Have you got this particular answer? Okay. So there are some more questions. For that, I would like to invite Sandeep sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, sir. Students, I'm very happy. Upon the ground distance. Am I audible, my dear? So here what I would like to tell you here is the ground area here given as 6 kilometer into 3 kilometer and the photo area is given as 30 into 15 centimeter. So here when I talk about the scale, scale is taken as photo distance upon the ground distance on solving, but actually area is given. So that is the reason scale is taken as square root of photo area upon the ground area, and the photo area is given as 30 into 15 by 6 into 3. If you solve this problem, you will get 5 into 10 power minus 5. On, if you, usually the scale will be represented as 1:s. So we have written the answer as 1:20,000. And remember, my dear students, there is another question in transportation related to stopping side distance. There was a question related to what, my dear students? Stopping side distance. So before moving to stopping side distance, we have studied what do you mean by stopping side distance? Can anyone tell me? Stopping side distance is defined as the braking distance plus lag distance. What is lag distance? Is the distance traveled during the reaction time is nothing but the lag distance, and the braking distance is nothing but on applying the brakes how much the vehicle has traveled to stop the vehicle. So that is called the braking distance. So here they have given you the options. Stopping side distance, first option was given as braking distance, so obviously it is wrong. Braking distance will be obviously wrong, because stopping side distance is defined as the summation of lag distance and braking distance. So here the first option A is wrong, and if the option B is taken as braking distance plus, it was given as, second option B is given as braking distance plus reaction time. Braking distance plus distance traveled during reaction time. Distance traveled during reaction time. So here I would like to tell you, my dear students, what I would like to tell you here is, so here they have given you the stopping side distance. Out of these 4 options, what is the correct option? And they have given you braking distance plus, the third option is braking distance plus perception time. The third option we have is braking distance plus perception time. Braking distance plus perception time. And the fourth option we have is distance traveled during reaction time. So my dear students, if you have gone through the basics of the geometric design or stopping side distance basic formula, you can easily write this answer, Amma. So the answer will be what? Can anyone comment in the comment section? Can anyone comment the answer in the comment section, my dear students? So it is evident. So my dear students, here the stopping side distance is evident. Stopping side distance is defined as the summation of braking distance plus distance traveled during the reaction time. So the option B is clear. Or if you want to see the formula, if you remember here, stopping side distance is given by the formula velocity into time plus v square upon 2gf. So here what I would like to tell you is, this is the reaction lag distance, and whatever v square by 2gf is the braking distance. If you see the previous year gate questions, they used to ask separately, sir, what is braking distance and what is lag distance? So if you have revised the basics and the previous year question, these two questions are very simple, my dear students. Now coming to the next question, there is another question, my dear students, in surveying. In surveying, there is a beautiful question which we have discussed so many times, my dear students, in the class. So when I talk about the surveying, the first question they have given is magnetic bearing is given as 183 degree 30 minutes, and they have given you true bearing is equal to whatever the true bearing, what they have given, my dear students, the true bearing is given as 180 degrees. Now they asked you what is the declination. In the problem they have given you the magnetic bearing as 183 degree 30 minutes and the true bearing is given as 180 degrees. So whenever these kind of problems are asked, remember, my dear students, you should remember what is the formula for declination. So declination is equal to true bearing minus magnetic bearing. And if you remember, my dear students, declination is equal to true bearing minus magnetic bearing. Here the true bearing is given as 180 degrees and the magnetic bearing is given as 183 degree 30 minutes. So here the sign has very, very importance. So here the answer will be minus 3 degree 30 minutes. So here what I would like to add, my dear students, is whenever you say minus 3 degree 30 minutes, this indicates it is a negative sign. This indicates what it said? It is a negative sign. So whenever they have given you negative sign means it is westwards. Negative sign is, it is westwards. And if they give you if the answer is positive sign, then it will be eastwards. So the final answer you can write it as 3 degree 30 minutes west. So if they have given you in the options, they might have given you east, west, north, south. So the answer will be 3 degrees 30 minutes west. I hope this solution is clear for you. I hope this solution is clear for you. Now we would like to have Ankur sir for the maths, I think. Sir, please join. So students, I hope the paper afternoon session also the paper seems to be moderate. So I hope everyone of the civil engineering aspirants have done their best in the GATE exam, and we are seeing a 35 marks cutoff as far as we notice. And students, don't miss, we are coming for the post guidance also in the coming days. So stay tuned to the IMS YouTube channel. Sir, Ankur sir.
So we have one very good question that is from aptitude part actually, and it is little bit confusing also. So that is why I am taking this question. Okay, so I think you have already solved some questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, sir.
And guys, we are about to solve many questions from civil too. So stay tuned and just share the video of this YouTube link, because whatever we are solving here, it is most accurate, my dear student. You can compare with any other platform, because what I have seen, at many platform they are solving wrong questions also, my dear student. So you just need to aware about that. So question is 4 to the power 8 to the power x, and it's equal to 256. It is given in the question, and examiner is asking for find the value of x. Find the value of x, my dear student. So I will solve this question, because this is the data. This is the data right now. Whatever data we have, according to I will give you a detailed explanation for the same, my dear student. If it is 4 to the power 8 to the power x, if there is no bracket, then you cannot multiply this 8 into x, because many faculties will say you ki 8 to multiply ho gaya. Are you getting my point? I am telling you, student, it is my challenge to all of you. Just try to focus on here IMS GATE Academy, where you will get the most accurate solution, most accurate. Because if I talk about, my dear student, here 4 to the power 8 to the power x, then it will be 256. So 256 I can even write 4 ki power 4. Because 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 into 4. So you will get 4 4 the 16, 64 into 4, 256. Now when you will compare, you will get 8 to the power x equal to, you will get 8 to the power x equal to what, guys? 4. Now you guys can take log base to both side. So when you will take both log to both side, you will get this, my dear student. Tell me yes or no, log 2 4. Now you will say that power will be here x, and log 2 8, it means 2 ki power 3. So here 3 will be left only, and here 2 will be left only. So your x answer will be 2 by 3 only. So this will be the correct answer. This will be the correct answer if the question is look like this. I am just repeating my sentence, my dear student. If question is exactly look like this, then correct answer is 2 by 3. At many platform you will get the answer 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, because they are solving just because they have whatever the knowledge they have solved it, but that is not a correct answer, my dear student. That is why I am telling you. But again, at the same time, if you have attended the question, my dear student, if you have attended the question, and if the question is like this, if the question is 4 to the power 8 to the power, if here is a bracket, suppose that if here is a bracket, my dear student, here what is the 256? Now what you will get, if bracket is there, because we don't know what is the exact. If the question paper is like that, where bracket is there, then you will write 4 into, you can multiply. If the bracket in the power, if there is a bracket, then only you can multiply. Now you can compare like this, 4 4. So you will get 8x equal to 4. So you will get x equal to 0.5 even. 4 by 8 na bachcho, 4 by 8 0.5. So you will get the answer 0.5 if and only if there is a bracket type of thing. If question is look like this, then answer is not 2. So I am just having both the cases. Whatever the exact question you have, you can send the question to us also. You can send the question to us also. Yes or no, guys? Now I would like to invite our next civil expert faculty. Now I would like to invite our civil expert faculties. Okay, chali.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
This is one of the beautiful question, I think, in aptitude, sir.
Aptitude, even what I have seen now, even at many platform, they are saying the answer is 0.5. How can we say that? If question is look like this, answer is 2/3 only.
And the better thing what I have liked it from this problem is you solve the both ways. Which one is the better? Means
Whatever.
whatever they have
Because
given
if
in
the question is look like this, then
this
answer is
question is
this.
this. If the
But
question is
whatever, but 90%, whatever the data I am getting from the student, question is look like this.
Then
So
it is
whoever is saying 0.5, it is wrong only.
wrong.
Correct,
Definitely.
correct. You
Thank
can
sir.
check your answer.
Thank
Yes.
you, sir.
Okay.
Now, see, students, we have a question from the one of the objective question, even from the transportation. Now, the question here is, as per IRC guidelines, what do you mean by IRC? Indian Road Congress. As per IRC guidelines, as per the IRC guidelines, as per the IRC guidelines, extra widening depends on which of the following parameters? Extra widening depends on extra widening depends on which of the following parameters? So here, my dear students, I'll tell you as usual, whenever these type of questions are asked, my dear students, a sincere advice to all the students, don't see the options. What is extra widening? When radius is, see, the formula for extra widening is given as mechanical widening plus psychological widening. The formula for extra widening is mechanical widening plus psychological widening. Here, mechanical widening is given by the formula NL square upon 2R plus the psychological widening is given by the formula capital V upon 9.5 root R. My dear students, when I denote the velocity in capital V, it indicates that it is, the velocity is in kilometer per hour. This indicates that velocity is in kilometer per hour. So, here we have the basic formula, extra widening is equal to mechanical widening plus psychological widening. Mechanical widening is given by the formula NL square upon 2R, where N indicates the number of lanes. L is the nothing but the length of the wheelbase, R is the radius. So here they have given you the options clearly, my dear students. The first option is given as number of lanes. So definitely it depends upon the number of lanes, because our formula says that it number of lanes. It is a multiple select question, students. So next one we have is the longitudinal gradient. Next one we have is the longitudinal gradient. So actually there is nothing related with longitudinal gradient. So it is not the one. And the third option we have is super elevation. So super elevation also no. But the final one, they have given you the radius of the horizontal curve, and definitely it depends upon radius here. So my dear students, the option A and D, radius of the horizontal curve, both are correct. So as per the guidelines of the IRC, the extra widening formula is given by the formula mechanical widening plus psychological widening. Here mechanical widening indicates NL square upon 2R, and remember my dear students, in psychological widening it is V upon 9.5 root R. So the options A and D are correct. Most of the students have done this right. So any doubts? So remember my dear students, what we have observed in GATE exam is the questions are very conceptual but very easy. If you know the concept, you can write the answer easily. So my dear students, if you are really preparing for a GATE exam, you should be consistent. And remember students, when you are showing the interest, you should be punctual and you should have a enthusiasm to write the GATE exam. So my dear students, going to the next question. We have a beautiful question, my dear students, in soil mechanics. And I am pretty sure in soil mechanics, you people have done the best. So the question here is, they have given the deviating stress as 0. My dear students, sorry, confining pressure as 0 they have given. And they have given the deviating stress as 76 kilopascal. They have given 76 kilopascal. And they have asked you What is the cohesion? So my dear students, here what does sigma 3 indicates? In a soil, actually, if you see the unconfined test, sigma 3 indicates the confining pressure and sigma 1 indicates the major stress, my dear student. So whenever these kind of questions are given, when do you see, you have to remember the plastic equilibrium condition. So what is a plastic equilibrium condition? Sigma 1 is equal to sigma 3 tan square 45 plus 5 by 2 plus 2c tan 45 plus 5 by 2. So this is the basic plastic equilibrium condition, if you remember, my dear students. But it was clearly given in the problem. So it was clearly given in the problem. What is the confining pressure, my dear students? Confining pressure is taken as 0. So here 0 plus 2c tan 45 plus 5 by 2. My dear students, here if you remember, what is the major stress? Remember, my dear students, deviating stress is taken as sigma 1 minus sigma 3. So sigma 1 is taken as sigma 3 plus sigma d. If remember, students, if confining pressure is 0, then sigma 1 will be equal to sigma d. That will be equal to 76. Here you can write the reason. Sigma 3 is 0 given. You have to remember that this is the given data. So my dear students, here you can simply substitute 76 and remember 76 is equal to, if it is a clayey soil, phi value is 0. And remember, my dear students, in cohesionless soils, they doesn't mention it is cohesionless. You are in a gravel or a sandy soil, the cohesion will be 0. And for clayey soils, the phi value is 0. And if you solve this equation, cohesion will be equal to 76 by 2 and 38 kilopascal. And see students, today I was very happy that most of the questions which are discussed in IMS Gate Academy at offline center at Jayanagar or in online, the notes, you can check our notes also, students. All the questions have been published from this. So we are very happy and we are very excited. Stay calm and please check your key here. Now, my dear students, there is also a question from the hydrology and irrigation. And this is also match the following question, my dear students. Here the question is, see students, whoever has attended morning session, they might have answered this problem, because my dear students, in the morning question paper, they have told calculate the total infiltration using Horton's equation. That Horton's equation in the match the following they have asked. So my dear students, preparation is very important. That 5 minutes, 2 minutes also can help you for 1 or 2 marks. So they have given you different equations and they have given you Penman equation also, and they have asked you to identify which is the solutions. So here they have given you precipitation. Here they have given you precipitation. Here they have given you the precipitation, my dear students. Students, if you are really excited, please share this session about the, if you want to have a detailed analysis of today's afternoon session, my dear students, please share this. And the required students who want to, who are showing enthusiasm to share, to check their questions, answers, definitely they will have this platform. And next one is transpiration. And the third option we have is the transpiration. And the fourth option we have is infiltration. And the fourth option we have is the infiltration. And the fifth answer we have is channel routing. And the fifth option we have is channel routing. So my dear students, channel routing. 1 second, students. So here, my dear students, you can immediately eliminate You can immediately eliminate precipitation as well as the flood frequency. Horton's equation is given for infiltration. So you can match the following. Horton's equation as infiltration and Musgum equation for what, my dear students? Here you can make it for channel routing and Penman equation for transpiration. So we have observed some of the objective questions and we have our team also joining now. So please, my dear students, whenever we have Ankit sir now, is very enthusiastic to share his answer to you. Sir, Ankit sir, you can come here, sir.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hello dear students. Hello dear students. So, we are having question from fluid mechanics, right? We know that all the students are waiting for the questions. So, we got one question from the fluid mechanics, right? So, what does this question say? This is your MSQ type of question. So, this is the question from your fluid mechanics, right? So, fluid mechanics, there is a question. If we talk about the morning session, so in morning session, they have asked one question from the hydraulics part. We know that hydraulics, it is not in the syllabus of GATE civil engineering, but still there was a question on the flow through the jet, right? So, from this particular point, now this question, this is a MSQ type of question, right? A very good question. It includes the concept from the different chapters, right? Now, what this question says, you need to find out this if the statements are correct. So, statement A, which of the following statements are is or are correct? Which of the following statements or statements, it means more than one statement can be correct, right? Is or are correct? Is or are correct, right? So, statement number 1, it is given as for curved surface, vertical component of force is equals to the weight of fluid above the surface. Just tell me if this statement is correct or not. Above the surface. Tell me. Yes, Pragya Brat. Tell me if this statement is correct or not. So, we know that for a curved surface, if we talk about the curved surface, we have seen that for curved surface, let's suppose this is the particular fluid, right? So the vertical component, it will be given by the weight of the fluid enclosed by this particular curved surface and these two horizontal surfaces, right? So, this particular weight of this particular fluid, it will give you the vertical component of force. Yes or no? The vertical component of force, it is true or false? The vertical component of force, it is asked, it will be equal to the weight of fluid above the surface. It is true or false? Tell me. So, we know that the horizontal force, it is the force acting on this particular, vertical projection of this and the horizontal component, it will be equal to what? It will be equal to the weight of this particular fluid. It will be equal to the weight of this particular fluid, right? So, it will be true. It will be true or it will be false? Vertical component of force, it will be what? It will be equals to what? Weight of the fluid enclosed between this particular part and this particular surface. So, above this particular surface, whatever is the fluid, it will be the weight component, right? Or the vertical component. Clear? If we talk about statement number B, so second statement, it was given as the momentum correction factor, for laminar flow, is greater than, momentum correction factor for turbulent flow. For turbulent flow. Tell me if this statement is correct or not. The momentum correction factor for laminar flow, it is greater than the momentum correction factor for your turbulent flow. Now we know that if you talk about the velocity distribution in case of laminar flow, that is your parabolic, whereas we know that due to the turbulent shear, we know that the velocity distribution, it is flatter in case of what? In case of your turbulent flow. So this is the velocity distribution for laminar flow. This is the velocity distribution for turbulent flow. Yes or no? So here the variation with respect to average velocity, it will be more as compared to in case of turbulent flow. So definitely the alpha value, that is your kinetic energy correction factor for laminar flow, it will be greater than kinetic energy fraction for turbulent flow. Same will be the case for momentum correction factor, right? So if alpha value is asked, also alpha of laminar, it will be greater than alpha of turbulent, right? And momentum correction factor, that is beta of laminar, it will also be greater than the beta of turbulent flow. Clear? It means this statement is correct. This particular statement is correct. Yes or no? Right. Next question which was given to you is, next option number C. It was given as, if streamline and equipotential line of a source are interchanged, if the streamline and equipotential line of, if a streamline and equipotential line of a source are interchanged, then it will be a sink. It will be a sink. Tell me if it is correct or not. Now if we talk about the source, right? So we know that in source the flow, it will be in the outward direction like this. Yes or no? Right. So this is your source. So these are your streamlines. These are your streamlines, and these are your equipotential lines. And these are your equipotential lines. These are your equipotential lines. That is phi line. This is your psi line. Now it is asking that if you will interchange them. So if I interchange them, it means now they are my, now these are my what? These are my streamlines. These are my streamlines. It means flow is occurring in this particular manner, right? And these are my equipotential lines. And these are my equipotential lines now. These are my equipotential lines now. So what we can say, this is not the case of sink. This is not the case of sink. When your sink will form, when the direction of flow, it will change. Direction of flow, it will change. If this particular flow, it will be towards the center, we will say, okay, this is the condition of sink. But in this particular case, it is what? It is your vortex flow, right? Or line vortex, we can say. This is what? This is your line vortex. Yes or no? So it is not sink, it is line vortex, right? This was your source. It means this particular statement it is wrong, right? And the last statement, statement number D, it was given as the thickness of turbulent layer. The thickness of turbulent, the thickness of boundary layer, the thickness of boundary layer in turbulent flow, in turbulent flow, in turbulent flow over a flat plate, over a flat plate, right? And the flow is in the direction of flow, and over a flat plate, and this particular flat plate, it is kept in the direction of float. Flat plate kept in the direction of flow, in the direction of flow is directly proportional to, square of the distance, square, or I think it is square root of the distance, right? Square root of the distance, from the edge, Clear? So tell me if this statement it is correct or not. This particular statement it is correct or not. So here the main point is turbulent flow. Here the main point is what? Turbulent flow, right? First, if we talk about the laminar flow, if it would be given for laminar flow, this statement can be correct. As we know, in laminar flow, your delta it is given as what? 5 into x upon under root of Reynolds number corresponding to x, and this Reynolds number is nothing but rho into v into x upon L, rho v into x upon mu, right? So under root of x, x. So delta it is directly proportional to what? Under root of x. But this is for what? This is for laminar flow. If we talk about the turbulent flow, so we know that in turbulent flow, delta is given as 0.376 into x upon Reynolds number to the power 1 by 5. Reynolds number to the power 1 by 5, right? So this is power 1. This will contain x to the power 1 by 5, right? So it will be what? Delta, it will be directly proportional to what? X to the power 4 by 5. X to the power 4 by 5, right? So if it would be given as delta is directly proportional to x to the power 4 by 5, it will be correct. But it was given as it is proportional to the square root of the distance from the edge. It means this particular statement is what? This particular statement is wrong. Clear this thing? Just let me know if you have done this particular question, if you have attempted this question or not. Which options you have kept right, which option you have kept wrong. Just tell me in the chat box. Just tell me in the chat box. By then, I will give you one more question. So this particular question, it is from your RCC. Right, there is a question from RCC. Again, it is a MCQ based theory question. So it was asked that M20 concrete as per IS 456, as per IS 456 2000, IS 456 2000, as per IS 456 2000 refers the concrete, refers to the concrete with a design mix with a design mix, right? And different options are given to you and different statements were given. Now we know, dear students, that this is M20 concrete. We call it as a characteristic strength. This is our what? Characteristic strength of concrete, right? This is our characteristic strength. Characteristic strength of concrete. And we know that characteristic strength is what? It is that particular strength value at which 5% of the test results, 5% of test result will fail. Right, when we are talking about this 5% test result. So this test, this compression test, we do it for what? We do it for your cube, right? So we take a cubical specimen and these tests are conducted for this particular cube. Yes or no? So based on that, the different statements were given to you. So let me tell you what were the options and you will tell me what is the correct answer then, right? So statement number A, it was given as, it is taken as an average cylindrical strength, an average cylindrical strength of 20 megapascal. Statement number 2, 5% of cylinder strength of 20 megapascal. Option number C is given as a 5% of cube strength of 20 megapascal. And option number D, it is what? An average strength of, cube strength of 20 megapascal. So tell me, dear students, whatever we have seen, tell me if it is correct or not. Hello Saurabh. Hello, just let me know now. What is the particular answer? What is the particular answer? We have done the just analysis. Tell me which option you have marked as correct. I have explained you this particular thing also. Just let me know which option you have marked as correct. Which option you have marked as correct? Tell me. So just we have discussed that this is the 5% strength of the cube sample, right? So it will be what? A 5% of the cube strength of 20 megapascal. A 5% strength of a cubical sample. Yes or no? Yes, correct, Saurabh. Right? Okay. Also, if you are having any questions, if you have any memory based question, just let me know in the chat box. We can discuss those questions also. Our other faculties will just be available with other questions.
Hello everyone, welcome to all of you. Yes, so I'm having few questions of engineering mathematics and general aptitude. So let's approach to the engineering mathematics question first. So the very first question I'm having is an engineering mathematics. This question is from the linear algebra and the question is of eigenvectors. So the question is the number of linearly independent eigenvector. The number of linearly independent eigenvectors of the given matrix. One matrix is given to us. We have to identify how many linearly independent eigenvectors are there. So the matrix is given to us 1, -1, 0, -1, 2, -1, 0, -1 and 1. Okay, we need to identify the number of linearly independent eigenvector, and I think this was an NAT. So you guys can confirm, as I used to say, you guys can confirm that whether the question is of NAT or not. Okay. Okay, so let's approach it. Now let's approach it. So we can first of all, as this is a 3x3 matrix, so we need to identify here the eigenvalues. If we can find out the eigenvalues, then we can go for the eigenvectors also. So we can easily calculate the eigenvectors. So simply we can identify here with the help of the characteristic equation A minus lambda is equals to 0. We can use one more approach we can go, but when I check the sum of the eigenvalues here, okay, as we know very well, whenever we are having the eigenvalues or eigenvectors, we can go with the sum of eigenvalues and product of eigenvalues. Beta, when I will go with the sum of eigenvalues, now here the sum is 4, okay, and when I will check here the product is nothing but the determinant. So when I will check here the product, I can get, but I will come to this approach also. Why it will not work, I will tell you this reason also. So let me complete the question first. So A minus lambda is equals to 0. When we will solve it, means if this is the matrix A, when we will solve it, it will be 1 minus lambda minus 1, 0, okay, minus 1, 2 minus lambda minus 1, 0, minus 1 and 1 minus lambda equals to 0. We can solve here simply. So when I will solve with respect to 1 minus lambda, it will be 2 minus lambda into 1 minus lambda and minus 1, and minus plus 1, it will be minus of 1 minus lambda, or we can write down, okay, let it be minus of 1 minus lambda equals to 0. So here we can write down like this. Okay, so when we solve this one, beta, when we will just open this, means when we will solve this basic equation, it will give me 1 minus lambda. I can just take throughout the common, okay, then it will be lambda square, lambda square minus 3 lambda plus 2, I am having minus 1, and this will be minus 1. What I did, I am just taking here 1 minus lambda throughout common, so it will be equals to 0. So we can equate first thing equals to 0, and here 2 and 2 will be gone. So we can write down first 1 minus lambda equals to 0, and second here lambda square minus 3 lambda equals to 0. By taking lambda common, it will give me lambda minus 3 is equals to 0. So I am having lambda is equals to 0 and lambda is equals to 3. From here I am having lambda is equals to 1. So all the three distinct eigenvalues are exist here. So lambda is equals to 0, 1 and 3. So we can see we are having three distinct eigenvalues, and we know the very basic property of eigenvalues, that an eigenvector, whenever the eigenvalues are distinct, eigenvectors will be linearly independent. So question is not asking about eigenvalues. What are the eigenvalues? Question is asking about how many linearly independent eigenvectors are there. So we can say as all the three eigenvalues are distinct, so number of linearly independent eigenvectors are 3. So we can write down the linearly independent eigenvectors will be 3 here. Okay, so the result will be 3. Now first thing, this is the simple approach. Okay, it will not take so many so much time. You can easily approach with the characteristic equation also. Now first reason why I said that we are not able to solve by this one, because we don't have options for the eigenvalues. So suppose I am getting from here sum is 4, as I get to know that the product is 0, means the product of eigenvalues is 0, or when you will find out the determinant will be 0 beta here. So whenever the determinant is 0, we are sure that the one eigenvalue will be 0, but I am not sure about the remaining two eigenvalues, because you are asking about sum is 4. So may be possible that the eigenvalues will be 2 or 2, may be possible that the eigenvalues will be 1 or 3, may be possible that the eigenvalues will be in the negative form. So that's why we don't have options for eigenvalues. That's why we will not go with this one. We will go with the conventional method. This is, although this is our short trick, but we will not approach here. Okay, it will be risky. So we can go directly with the simply characteristic equation, and we can solve it very easily, guys. Okay, now first is there. Now one question is from differential equation, and the basic question we all similar pattern of question we already solved in our classroom, where it is asking we solve by the name of differential equation with higher orders. Okay, I will tell you about this one also. So the equation is the solution of the differential equation, given cubic differential equation. Okay, equation is d3y by dx3 minus 5.5 d2y by dx2 plus 9.5 dy by dx minus 5y is equals to 0. The solution, this is the differential equation, and the solution of this differential equation is already given to us. So is given as c1 e to the power 2.5x plus c2 e to the power alpha x plus c3 e to the power beta x. Okay, then the value of alpha plus beta, it is asking about the value of alpha plus beta is what? We are having options also here. So the options are -2, -3, alpha plus beta. I don't think it is asking about the values of alpha and beta. It is asking about the values of alpha and beta. Okay, -2, -3. Second option is 2 and 3. Third option is 1 and 2. And the last option is -1 and -2. Okay, let's approach it. We can easily solve these pattern of questions, guys. So let's approach. First of all, we can write down the equation as in this form: d3 minus 5.5 d square plus 9.5 d and minus 5 of y equals to 0. If you want, then you can write down the auxiliary equation in the form of m also. If I will write down in the form of m, so it will be m cube minus 5.5 m square plus 9.5 d, 9.5 m minus 5 is equals to 0. Now, first of all, whenever we are having the differential equation with higher orders, we used to check, in our classroom also we write down the two special keynotes, whether, as we know very well, every cubic equation must have at least one linear root. So for finding that linear root, we can approach first thing, either we can put here m is equals to 1, means sum of, by putting m is equals to 1, sum of all the coefficients will be 0. If sum of all the let me check it out. If sum of all the coefficients will be 0, then we can go with that one root will be m is equals to 1. If sum of all the coefficient will not be equals to 0, then we used to go with the sum of the even powers coefficient and sum of the odd power coefficient. If these two coefficients are equal, then m is equals to -1 is the root of this equation. So we used to approach this one. So here when I will see, I can see 1 minus 5.5 plus 9.5 minus 5, it is giving me 10.5 minus and plus 10.5, it is equals to 0. I can see here sum of all the coefficient is equals to 0. So surely m is equals to 1 is the root of this equation, 100%. So I can say that m is equals to 1 is one root. Okay, now look at the solution. If we are having the solution, according to the solution, we know very well that whenever we write down the CF of any equation, these things multiply with e to the power this one and this one. These things are nothing but the roots of the equation only. So according to this one, I can see that the roots of this equations will be, if I am having three roots, x1, x2 or x3, then the first root will be 2.5, the next root will be alpha, and the next root will be beta. Exactly. So one root I am clear with the 2.5, but here I am having one root also. So either my alpha will be 1 or my beta will be 1. Yeah, surely. I am not sure about this one, but alpha and beta, any of them will be 1. So once we are having this m is equals to 1 na beta, we can directly approach to the options. As we are having options, so we can see that -2 -3 will be gone, +2 +3 will be gone. We are having m is equals to 1. One root is 1 surely. So this is also not possible. Only and only the correct answer will be option C if you will not go with the further calculation. If you don't want to go, means you can write down the answer in a single line. After solving the one line also you can solve, right? You can tell that the one, as we are having one root is equals to 1. So surely if the options are here, okay, no repetition of 1 is there, then it will be surely 1 means 1 is there, so it must be here. So the option will be 1 and 2. If you want to go for the exact solution, means we will not go the exact, but we can go with the value of alpha plus beta from here. So as we know very well that the sum of the roots is nothing but the minus b by a. So if I will approach from here, so it will be plus 5.5, as I am having one root as in 2.5, second root as in 1. So I can get the value of the third root, means the value of beta also we can get from here, which is 5.5. So we can solve the beta, which will be 5.5 minus 3.5, which will be 2. So we can get the value of beta, which is 2, and alpha is 1 already. So 1 and 2, or if it is asking about the sum 1 plus 2, then the result is 3. If it is asking about only the values of alpha and beta, then the answer will be C beta. Yes. So we can easily approach now. By just seeing the question in the single line, we can approach the question. Even if you are my student, then you can solve this question without using pen also. Okay, so this is a very, very simple pattern. Okay, so now one question is from Divergent. Okay, they are asking about I don't have options, but but the question is there for me. If two functions, phi is a scalar and u vector is a vector function. So we are having two functions, then the value of divergent of phi u vector is what? So this is a simple formula which we used so many times in our classroom, so we can easily approach, as this is nothing but the divergent of phi into u vector. Okay, I don't have options. So if you guys appeared in the exam, then you can confirm whether the question is like this one or what are the options. So if you can see, or you can just see the video, then you can write down the comments also ki yeah ma'am, we are having these options. Okay, so we can easily approach as phi is a scalar quantity and u is a vector quantity. So we know very well ki whenever we are having these type of questions, we can easily solve by just seeing the question. So we know very well the phi. Okay, on phi we will approach the gradient, and on the scalar quantity we will approach the gradient, and on the vector quantity, when we operate the del operator, it will become as an divergent. So we can use here as, let me write down the phi as it is, and then when I will approach this del operator on the vector function, it will be del dot u vector, means nothing but the divergent, plus u vector is as it is, and here the del operator, when we operate on the scalar, it will be gradient only. So if you want to write down the answer in this form, then the result will be phi into divergent of u vector plus u vector into gradient of phi. Okay, this will be the answer. If you will approach the question like this, then this will be the answer. Okay, now I'm having few questions of aptitude also. So one question is already done by the Ankur sir. As you can see, the question of 4 to the power 8 to the power x is equals to 256, and we can easily solve, okay, that question, and the result will be 2 by 3. Now if I am having one question from English, so the question is kind, it is asking about the blank, next is often, and here it is written as an seldom. Okay, we can approach here very easily. Options are given to us: cruel, second one is kindness, third one is variety, and the fourth one is type. As first of all, we have to see the relation between often and seldom. Often is often, right? Seldom is not so often. So these two words are the opposite of each other. We can see here we are having the antonyms. The relation between these two things is antonyms only. So these two are opposite of each other. So I have to identify the opposite of kind. Okay, the kind is generous, so the opposite of kind will be cruel only. So we know very well the opposite will be cruel. So the result will be satisfied by the cruel. So remaining three will not be satisfied the answer. We can easily approach, and one question is there of the grid, simple basic counting. Although this is a question of PNC, but we can approach this question of PNC with the counting principle, which we used to learn in our classroom also. Okay, so in how many ways in how many ways filling the vacant spaces also we can use here. In how many ways can cells in a 3x3 grid be shaded such that each row and each column have exactly one shaded cell. It is asking about exactly one. So very simply we can approach this question. Suppose, as let me approach here with this 3x3 grid. We can solve this question even without using the pen. If we are having a 3x3 grid, beta, suppose we are having this 3x3 grid. Okay, it is asking about in a 3x3 grid how many ways we should follow that exactly each row and each column having exactly one shaded cell. Now let us assume here I am having three possibility, here also three, here also three. Now look at here. We used to approach like these type of questions so many times. When I talk about this first row only, let's talk about first row. When I talk about here, I can see that suppose I am having three vacant spaces and I can fill all the three vacant spaces if I want to use this one, or I can use this one, or I can use this one. So for first row, I am having three possibilities or three chances. So I can write down here. When I talk about the second row, as suppose if I just fixed this first place, then for the second row I'm having only two possibilities. Suppose I'm fixing not this one, I'm fixing this one, then also I'm having two possibilities. Okay, suppose I'm fixing this one, then also I'm having two possibilities in the second row. So we can easily say that in the first row we are having three possibilities. Either we can fill this one or this one or this one. So that's why for the first row it is 3. When we talk about the second row, among these three options, means among these three places, we can fill only 2, because one which we fill in the first row, below that one we are not able to fill. So that's why either if I am filling this one, then these two are the possibilities. So here I am having only 2 possibilities. Similarly, for the third row I am having only 1 possibilities, because here and here I cannot fill, so I have to fill here only. So that's why I am having only 1 possibility. So it will be 3 into 2 into 1. So my result will be 6. So we can easily solve the question. I hope it is clear to everyone, guys. So we can solve the questions with the basic counting principle, which we learned so many times in our classroom. Okay, guys. Now, so till now I am having these questions only. Let me search more questions for you with the exact data of engineering, mathematics and general aptitude. Once I have more questions, I will come to the live again in front of you guys. So till that, you can continue on this YouTube channel with the technical questions. Thank you, guys.
So welcome back, my dear students. We are discussing about the afternoon session of civil engineering examination for GATE, right? So here is a question from structural analysis. Question says that Mueller-Breslau principle is used in the analysis of the structure. This is so easy question. It is a multiple repetitive question and a concept asked in GATE examination. If I talk about influence line diagram, these Mueller-Breslau principle plays a key role in drawing all the influence line diagram, whether may be a structure, whether may be a truss, right? So there are 4 statements given. A statement A says that writing the virtual work expression to get the equilibrium equation. A statement B says that superimposing the load effects to get the total force response in the structure. A statement C says that drawing an influence line diagram for any force response. So option number C is correct for this question. Mueller-Breslau principle is used to draw the influence line diagram. So this is just one of the easiest question asked from structural analysis, right? Moving on with this. The next question of structural analysis was quite a good question. It says we have a frame like this. We have a frame like this. We have a frame like this, and of this frame we have overhang of length L on either side. length of all the members is L, right? On these overhangs, I have a UDL with intensity of W kilonewton per meter. Here I have a UDL of W kilonewton per meter intensity, right? So this is my point A. I need to find out the moment at A, right? I need to find out the moment at A. So the moment at A is given as WL square by beta. And the value of beta I need to determine for this frame, right? This can seem an easy question. No doubt it is one of the critical question if you exactly know how to apply the moment distribution method for this frame. So let us analyze this. If you remove these two overhangs, this structure will look like, this structure will turn like this. So you have one member, this structure will turn like this, right? When you remove the overhang, you have a moment of WL square by 2 and you have a downward vertical load of WL, right? Similarly, on the other side, we have WL square by 2 and you have a downward load of WL, right? So this is basically the situation once you remove the overhang, right? So the moment at this point, let this point be B. The moment at point B is WL square by 2. This moment at point B is distributed among two members depending upon the distribution factor. So first of all, I need to know about the stiffness of the member. So stiffness of this beam is 4 EI by L. This is 4 EI by L. The stiffness of this beam is 4 EI by L and stiffness of this column is again 4 EI by L. Whenever your far end is fixed, your stiffness comes out to be 4 EI by L. As you can see here, for this joint, the other joint is a rigid joint. This is taken as a fixed support for calculating the stiffness of the member, right? Once we have the stiffness, we can calculate the distribution factor. So distribution factor is nothing but the stiffness of the member is stiffness of the member. It is the stiffness of the member divided by the total stiffness of the joint, divided by the total stiffness of the joint, divided by the total stiffness of the joint. So as you can see here, for member AB, distribution factor is 4 EI by L divided by 8 EI by L. The total stiffness at joint B is 4 EI by L plus 4 EI by L, which comes out to be 8 EI by L. So distribution factor for the column comes out to be 1 by 2, right? So half of this moment of WL square by 2 will be transferred to this member AB. So this moment which is there in the member AB, this is nothing but WL square by 4. This is nothing but WL square by 4. Half of this moment WL square by 2 will be transferred to this member AB, right? Will be beared by this member AB. Now half of this WL square by 4 will be carried over to this joint A. So the moment at joint A is nothing but half of WL square by 4, which comes out to be WL square by 8, right? So from here we can clearly see the value of beta comes out to be 8. The value of beta comes out to be 8, right? So this is a critical question. If you have analyzed this question properly, this could have been one of the easiest question to secure the marks. The only thing is you need to calculate this stiffness of the member accurately. Most of the students have treated as a hinge joint, right? Most of the students may not have considered the exact rigidity of this beam, correct? So all these factors are there. If you keep a check on all these factors, you can clearly solve this. So value of beta comes out to be 8 for this question. So this was one of the critical question from structural analysis. Next question is from strength of material. Next question is from strength of material. In the question, you are given with a shaft. A shaft is given like this. The length of the shaft is given as 5 meters, I guess. This length is given as 5 meters. The length of the shaft is given as 5 meters. over the shaft, you apply a torque of 100 kilonewton meter. You apply a torque of 100 kilonewton meter, right? Next, the value of Gj is given as 50,000 kilonewton meter square. The value of Gj is given as 50,000 kilonewton meter square. For this question, two statements are given. Statement A says that the rotation of the free end is given as 0.1 radian. I'll just write. Statement 1 says that rotation of free end is, my voice is audible to you? There was some technical glitch, no problem. My voice is audible to you? Okay. Chalo, we were discussing about this question of strength of material. So statement 1 is rotation of free end is 0.1 radian, and statement 2 says that the strain energy stored is 0.1. The strain energy stored is 0.1. So you need to identify, there are 4 options in which you need to identify which of the following statement is correct, or both are incorrect, or one is correct, the other one is incorrect, like that. You have 4 different options given in that, right? So basically we will going to calculate both of things. First of all, we will calculate the rotation. So rotation at the free end theta, rotation of the free end theta is given by TL by Gj, right? This is the rotation of the free end. So T is given as 100 kilonewton meter multiplied by length, which is 5 meter, divided by Gj, which is nothing but your 50,000. This is 50,000 kilonewton meter square. You can understand very carefully. This torque is kilonewton meter and one more meter from the length. So the total unit of the numerator comes out to be kilonewton per meter square, which will be cancelled out by the unit of the denominator. So from here the total rotation comes out to be, if you do the calculation, the total rotation will come out to be 0.01 radian. It comes out to be 0.01 radian. So right, you can compare with the statement. In the statement it is given as 0.1 radian, but we are calculating at 0.01 radian, right? So this statement is incorrect. This statement 1 is incorrect. Now calculating the strain energy. So strain energy U is equals to T square L upon 2 Gj. This is the strain energy for a shaft on which a torque of T is applied, right? So on substituting the values, you can directly have T is 100 square, L is 5 divided by 2 into 50,000. Just quickly calculate this and tell me the final answer. You can calculate this and tell me the final answer for this. Please tell me the final answer for this. Please tell me the final answer for this. So this is 100 square into 5 divided by 2 into 50,000. So this comes out to be 0.5. This comes out to be 0.5, right? This comes out to be 0.5. So as you can see here in the statement, the strain energy is given as 0.1. So this statement is also incorrect. So for this question, both the statements are incorrect. So you need to mark the option where both the statements are incorrect, right? So this was an easy question, again from strength of material. Moving to our next question. Next question is from environmental engineering. I need to check on the data which is there in the question. I am not exactly sure about the data, but let us check on the question. Question says that you are given with the elevation. So this question is from environmental engineering. You are given with the elevation. So at an elevation of 5 meter, the temperature is, at an elevation of 5 meter, the temperature is 14.2 degrees Celsius. At an elevation of 325 meter, the temperature is 16.9 degrees Celsius, right? whenever you increase the elevation, your temperature decreases. This happens in normal condition. But we have seen the inversion condition where the temperature increases with increase in height, right? So don't worry about that. We need to calculate the lapse rate. We need to calculate using this data. We need to calculate the lapse rate. We need to calculate the lapse rate in degrees per 100 meter. In degrees per 100 meter, right? We need to calculate the lapse rate in degrees per 100 meter. Now this question is very easy. How to calculate the lapse rates? So lapse rate is nothing but change in temperature delta T divided by change in height. This is change in temperature divided by change in height. So this is delta H, right? So delta T is given as, delta T is 16.9 minus 14.2 divided by change in height is from 325 meter minus 5 meter. So here the lapse rate that you will get will be in degrees per meter. So here the lapse rate will be in degrees per meter, which comes out to be 0.008437. This is degrees per meter. But in the question we want the lapse rate in degrees per 100 meter. So just multiply it by 100. So lapse rate per 100 meter comes out to be 0.8437 degrees per 100 meter. So this is my final answer. This is my final answer for this. Up till the point where I have the data related to this question, this is the final answer for this question of environmental engineering, right? Now moving on with this question, we have another question of environment which says that which of the following, another question of environment, it is a 1 mark question, which of the following is not a disinfectant? Which of the following is not a disinfectant? Which of the following is not a disinfectant, right? So option A is given as chloride, option B is given as ozone, option C is given as OCl minus ion, and option D is given as OH radical. OH radical, right? So you need to check on the question that which of the following is not a disinfectant, right? You can check on the language of the question as well. If the language was something different, you can just inform me, right? Right now, whatever data I have received, this is the question that I have received, that which of the following is not a disinfectant, right? When I talk about disinfectant, first thing is clear, ozone is a disinfectant, right? Ozone is a disinfectant. Again, OCl minus ion is a disinfectant. We are talking about freely available forms of chlorine. When I talk about freely available forms of chlorine, so freely available forms of chlorine, include Cl2, HOCl and OCl minus ion, right? Please keep a check. Cl2 is the freely available chlorine, not chloride ion, right? Not chloride ion. So OCl minus ion is also a disinfectant. So OCl minus ion is also a disinfectant. OH radical is also a disinfectant. This is also a disinfectant. The only disinfectant which is not there is Cl minus ion. Chloride is not a disinfectant. So for this question, chloride is not a disinfectant. Chloride is not a disinfectant, right? Now moving on with the next question. Next question is again from strength of material. Question says that you have a beam like this. So I'll just draw a beam. So for this beam, this is my roller support. Then I have an inclined load of 500 Newton. This is 500 Newton, and this is acting at an angle of 60 degrees. This is acting at an angle of 60 degrees, right? Next, this distance is 2 meters. Then at a distance of 1.5 meter, I have one more load acting, and this load is acting upward with an intensity of 200 Newton. This distance is 1.5 meter. Next, I have one attachment which is having a load of 100 Newton like this, and this eccentricity is given as 0.5. This eccentricity is given as 0.5 meter, right? Next, this distance is again 1 meter, and here I have a roller support, and this distance is 1.5 meter. This is my point A, and this is my point B. The question is simple. We need to find the support reaction of A. We need to determine the support reaction of A, right? So this question can be dealt in single statement, only one statement, right? Do you remember this? We used to do this in the class. We draw this simply supported beam. We draw this simply supported beam. We have this simply supported beam like this, right? We have an eccentric load P acting, which is at a distance A from support A and at a distance B from support B. So how can I write the support reaction RA? My support reaction RA is nothing but load into B, that is P into B divided by total length L, right? Now since n number of loads are acting, I can simply add the impact of all the loadings in order to calculate this total support reaction, okay? Now what I will do in this question is, right, first of all, I'll calculate the component of this 500 kilonewton meter. This component is nothing but 500 sine 60 degree. This component, this vertical component is 500 sine 60 degree. This is 500 sine 60 degree, right? Just tell me, due to this 500 sine 60 degree, what will be the contribution in this support reaction? So due to this 500 sine 60 degree, the contribution in support reaction is nothing but this 500 sine 60 degree, this is 500 sine 60 degree, multiply by this total length, and this total length is 1.5 plus 1 plus 1.5. So this is 3 plus 1, 4. So this is 4 divided by the total length, that is 6. So this is due to this 500 sine 60 degree. Next is due to this 200 kilonewton load which is acting in upward direction. So I'll add minus sign. So minus into 200 multiplied by this length 1 plus 1.5. So this is 2.5 divided by the total length, right? Now talking about this arrangement can be shifted to this point. This arrangement can be shifted to this point, and if I shift this arrangement to this point, there will be one moment, and the value of this moment will be 100 into 0.5, 100 into 0.5, and there will be one horizontal reaction, there will be one horizontal load of 100 Newton, right? There will be one horizontal load of 100 Newton. Now tell me, if I have a moment over the beam like this, for suppose if I have a moment over the beam, just look into this picture. If I have a moment over the beam like this, right? If I have the moment over the beam like this, like a moment like this, so the reactions will develop in order to produce a couple that will going to balance this moment. If my moment is in clockwise direction, the couple due to this support reaction will be in anti-clockwise direction, and its value is nothing but minus m by L, and here it is m by L, right? So here I will add or I will subtract minus m is 100 into 0.5, 100 into 0.5 divided by length, that is 6 meters. So when you calculate this total support reaction comes out to be 197 Newton. So Ra comes out to be 197 Newton. Ra comes out to be 197 Newton, right? This Ra comes out to be 197 Newton. So this is how you can easily deal this question in just single statement. This is one of the easiest question asked from analyzing the beams, right? Moving on to the next question. So this is again a question from strength of material. Question says that so this question is again from strength of material. In the question it is given that you have a loading like this. I'll just add one figure. For this loading, I have this normal load. I have this normal load. The value of this normal stress sigma n is given as 120 megapascal. And over this plane, the value of shear stress is given as 40 megapascal. This shear stress is given as 40 megapascal. Then I need to calculate the value of sigma y and sigma x. I need to calculate these two values. The dimensions of the plane are given as, these are given as, so this is P, Q and R. So this is 5 and PQ is 4 and this is 3, right? Now this is again a question of stresses on the oblique plane. Now my thing is, either you can go with these heavy equations and then calculate the value of sigma x and sigma y, or rather I'll suggest you one of the easiest method to solve this problem, right? What I have to do, these are the stresses that are given to us, right? And I need to find out the stress on the PQ plane and the QR plane. If I assume the depth of the plane to be 1 meter, okay, then I have a surface, the height of the surface will be 4 meter and the depth of the surface will be 1 meter. So this total stress of sigma x will be acting on a plane which have a height of 4 meter and a depth of 1 meter. So simply by considering the planes, I can balance the equation, right? I can use the equilibrium equation to find out sigma x and sigma y. So first of all, let me use summation of horizontal forces to be 0. For using that, this angle is theta, and if you calculate this angle comes out to be 90 minus theta. So this will be theta, then this will be again theta, right? So the angle of the normal stress with the horizontal line is 90 minus theta, and that of the shear stress with the horizontal line is theta. So it is easy to balance the equation now, right? So for summation of fx to be 0, the first thing is sigma x into 4 into 1, right? So this is the area of the plane multiplied by the stress value. So I will be multiplying the stress value with the area of the plane. So sigma x into 4 into 1. Then I have minus 40, and this 40 megapascal of shear stress is acting on a plane which is having the slant length of 5 meter and a depth of 1 meter. So this is minus 40, 5 into 1, and this is cos theta. This is cos theta, right? This is cos theta. Next is my normal stress of 120 kilonewton and its cos 90 minus theta component. Again it will be acting on this plane of slant length 5 meter and width of 1 meter. So this is plus 120 cos 90 minus theta into 5, right? And this should be equal to 0. This should be equal to 0. So from here you can easily calculate the value of, sigma x, and the value of sigma x comes out to be, please comment it in the box and tell me the value of sigma x. You can also calculate the theta. You are given with the theta, you are given with the dimension. So cos theta is nothing but 3 by 5 and sin theta is nothing but 4 by 5. So accordingly you can substitute the value of cos and sin theta and you can have the value of sigma x, which comes out to be 67.5. This comes out to be 67.5 megapascal. This comes out to be 67.5 megapascal. 67.5 megapascal is the value of sigma x. Now talking about the value of sigma y. For sigma y, I'll take the summation of vertical forces to be 0, right? So how I can write? So first of all, this 40 megapascal sin theta, right? So 40 sin theta multiplied by the area, that is nothing but 5 into 1, plus 120 megapascal, that is the normal stress. This normal stress sin 90 minus theta. This normal stress sin 90 minus theta. So this normal stress sin 90 minus theta into 5 into 1, right? So this is the stresses that are acting in the upward direction and this should be equal to my sigma y value. On substituting all the values of sin theta and sin 90 minus theta, you can easily get the value of sigma y as, so sigma y comes out to be 213.3. So this comes out to be 213.3 megapascal. This comes out to be 213.3 megapascal. Right. So there are 4 options given for checking sigma x and sigma y. Using this simple method without even solving for theta, you can easily get the value of sigma x and sigma y. So this is one of the most convenient method that is used to deal with such type of questions, right? So basically we have seen the questions of strength of material, we have seen the questions of environmental engineering and structural analysis. As we are getting the questions, we will keep continuing our discussion. So I'll invite my next faculty to continue with the questions that he or she has, right? So I'll just invite him.
Students, am I audible? Sorry. So students, I repeat this thing again. What is the question they have given here is, they have given you the, they have given a singly reinforced beam, which is steel bar, which are, means steel is provided top and the bottom is subjected to the compression zone. So here they have given you M25 concrete and Fe415 grade of steel, and they have given, they asked you to calculate the moment of resistance, my dear student. When they asked you to calculate the moment of resistance, here you should understand that the width of this section here is 300 mm, the overall depth is 600 mm, my dear students. And if you see the stress distribution diagram, it looks like this. And here is the compression force and here is the stress head. And you know, you have to equate tension force and compression force before solving the problem. So let us move on to this problem. To find the depth of the neutral axis, to find the depth of neutral axis, we assume the section to be balanced. To find the depth of neutral axis, we assume the section to be what, my dear students? We assume the section to be balanced. So how do you find out the depth of neutral axis is by assuming compression force is equal to tension force. Remember, my dear students, by applying the equation compression force is equal to the tension force, you can know that you can find out the depth of the neutral axis. Now, my dear students, when I say you compression force is equal to tension force, how do you calculate the depth of the neutral axis is? Remember, stress into area is nothing but, so if you calculate the stress of that diagram, area of the stress diagram, you will get compression force as 0.36 FCKB into XU, and the tension force is given by the equation 0.87 FIAST. Here, my dear students, if I talk about the grade of concrete, here they have given you 20, the grade of concrete is M25 and the width of the section is given as 300, and they are asking you to find out the depth of the neutral axis. And what is the yield stress of the steel is Fe415 grade of steel. So into 415 into area of steel. Area of steel are 3 bars of dia 28 mm. When you solve this 3 into pi by 4 28 square. When you solve this, you will get a value of the depth of the neutral axis as depth of the neutral axis is around 247 mm. Now, my dear students, you should know that whether it is a over reinforced section or under reinforced section is very, very important, my dear student. So you cannot adopt this XU as depth of neutral axis unless you check the XU max value. So here they have given XU max for Fe415 grade of steel. If you remember, my dear students, XU max for Fe415 grade of steel is 0.48D. So this is evident, my dear student. For XU max value is given as 0.48D, and here 0.48D is, sir, what is D is effective depth. It is not the total depth, and here the total depth is given as 600 minus the cover is given as 45 mm. If you solve this value, you will be getting 266 mm. So you can happily say that here XU is less than XU max. So my dear students, though from the problem it is evident that XU is less than XU max. When XU is less than XU max, it is clear that the section is under reinforced. So here there is, if the section is over reinforced, then we have to rethink it. But as the section is under reinforced, you don't worry about the moment of resistance calculation. So what is moment of resistance? My dear students, moment of resistance, what is a moment? Moment is nothing but a force into perpendicular distance. Here you can write moment of resistance is equal to compression force into lever arm. Compression force into lever arm. So my dear students, when you calculate the compression force is given by the formula 0.36 FCK into B into XU into lever arm. Lever arm is given as the D minus 0.42 XU. Now, my dear students, if you see here, what is the lever arm? If you ask me what is the lever arm is, it is the distance between the point of application of the compression force and the tension force, my dear student. So when they ask you what is the lever arm, here they have given you the compression force. We will calculate the compression force. The grade of concrete is taken as 25 and the width of the section is 300 and the depth of the neutral axis Whatever you have calculated, you can take it directly, my dear students. That is 247 into D. So, my dear students, we have not calculated D, but D is a value overall depth minus the cover, that is 600 minus 45 minus 0.42 into what is the depth of the neutral axis is 247 mm. My dear students, if you want to know what is the value 247 mm. If I have not written what is the value of 247, here I have written it is 247 mm. So, my dear students, if you want to calculate in Newton per meter, you will get a value of 300.9 into 10 power 6. You will be getting the answer, that is Newton mm. So, you can easily calculate here 1 point, here 1 point, 0.3 into 0.2, you will get around 0.06. And you can multiply all this, you will get 300 point into 10 power 6. But the solution should be 300.9 kilonewton per meter. Why? Because 10 power 3 newtons is equal to 1 kilonewton and 10 power 3 mm is equal to 1 meter. So the answer here is, my dear students, 300.9 kilonewton meter. So if you have any doubts, you can comment in the comment section. So beautifully, I would like to tell you, my dear students, in the coming exam, especially in limit state method, this is a very important concept. So let me summarize this concept, my dear students. The first thing what I would like to tell you is, whenever you are finding the depth of neutral axis, the basic funda is equating the compression and tension force. And after finding the compression and tension force, you will be calculating the depth of the neutral axis. And the depth of the neutral axis will be compared with the maximum depth of the neutral axis. It will be compared. If XU is less than XU max, then you say that it is an under reinforced section. And remember, what is the stress distribution diagram? I am telling you, any exam, my dear students, if you are writing any exam, the singly reinforced section, if you see here the singly reinforced section, whether it is a strain diagram or whether it is a, one second my dear students, if you talk about the strain diagram or if you talk about the stress distribution, this is very important, my dear student. So the strain diagram, if you see the strain diagram, it will be somewhere here if there is a steel here. And what will be the value of the strain? 0.0035. And here we have the equation as 0.02 plus 0.87 Fy by Es. My dear students, you have observed the morning question paper. There was a question given in this scenario. But in the evening session, my dear students, there is a question given in the given from the stress distribution diagram. So here the stress is given as 0.45 FCK. And where does this compression force acts, my dear student? It acts at a distance of 0.42 XU. So my dear students, if this is D, and what will be this distance? That is nothing but the lever arm. That is nothing but the D minus 0.42 XU. My dear students, if you have watched our quick means if you have watched our YouTube videos, then I have told this point also, my dear students, there are high chances of getting a question from this topic. Now coming to the next question, we have seen in hydrology irrigation also, my dear students, we have seen a hydrology in hydrology and irrigation also, there is a beautiful question on Thiessen polygon method. In hydrology and irrigation, we have seen a very beautiful question from Thiessen polygon method. So actually they have given the problem here. See students, they have given gauges. They have given the gauge G1, G2, G3 and G4. Means there are around 5 stations. G3, G4, G5. So all these are rain gauges of 5 stations, my dear student. And they have given the value as 910 and 930 and they have given 925, 895, my dear students. And another value was given as 905. Now, my dear students, if you see the diagram, here, what I would like to tell you here is, so here what I would like to tell you, my dear students, here they have given you the diagram. The diagram here is, you can see here, one second students. So here if you see the diagram, they have given the stations like this. Now my dear students, one second. So they have given you stations G5 here, okay, and this is making 90 degrees student, and this is here G4 and this is G3 and this is G2. When now using Thiessen polygon method, okay, using Thiessen method or Thiessen polygon method, they asked you what is the average rainfall. They have asked you in the problem what is the average rainfall. So here, my dear students, whenever they have asked you this problem, I'll tell you simply first and the foremost important thing, my dear students, you have to join all the stations. You have to join all the stations. First, you join all the stations and you will get a station. Now, my dear students, what I would like to tell you is you have to drop a perpendicular bisector here to these stations. And if you see here, you will be dropping a perpendicular and you will be forming an area of this kind. So here, now see students, whatever these areas which you are getting here, you can observe these are the areas, my dear student. So here, if I observe these areas, if you observe these areas, 1 second students, and the radius is given as 30 kilometers students. For your another information, radius is given as 30 kilometers. So you can clearly say that if I take this as A1, my dear students, here it will be A2, A3, this one, and this will be, sorry, here it is A3, and this is A2, and this is A4, and this is A5. Remember, for your information, my dear students, what is A1? So here, what is A1, my dear students? What is A1? You can say. You can say what is A1 here. A1 is nothing but this one part. So here this is something like a square. Here to here, the radius is how much, students? The radius is 15. From here to here, it will be 15. So the area, if I consider the area, my dear students, first I will consider the area here. Area of A1, that is nothing but a square, that is equal to 30 kilometer into 30 kilometer. That will be equal to 900 kilometers square. Now, my dear students, if I could remove the area of this entire area, suppose if I have removed this entire area, now my dear students, I would like to tell you A2 is equal to or A3 is equal to the remaining areas, A4 is equal to or A5 is equal to. You can write here, students, you can write here the formula total area. The total area of circle is how much, sir? The total area of the circle, if the radius is 30, so total area of the circle can be taken as pi r square minus 900. So that will be the by 4. That by 4 you have to remember, my dear student. Because why? Because you are getting the area of individually. Not if you considered A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5, then no need of 4. But you are calculating the individual areas, so you have to divide it by 4. So if I give you here, what is the pi into 30 square minus 900 divided by 4 will give you, what is the answer? Can anyone answer me in the text box? Can you, in the comment section, can you please tell me the answer? Here it will be equal to 481.86 kilometers square. Or roughly, if I see, I am not calculated anything, my dear students. It is 2700, roughly 3.14 means 900 into 3.14. You can say 2700 and 2790, and it will be 2009 means roughly around you will get 2820 minus 900. 1920 divided by 4, you will get around the value of 480. So this is how you have to do the area. After calculating the areas, there is nothing to solve in the problem, my dear students. If you want to find the average rainfall, if you want to find out the average rainfall of the catchment, if you want to find out the average rainfall of catchment, my dear students, if you are really liking this session, please share to your friends. That would be fruitful for them. Now, my dear students, when I talk about the average rainfall of the catchment, you can write sigma AI, okay, and GI upon sigma AI. This is the formula because readings at each station, or some people will write it as XI also. So here the areas is given as how much? The first reading is given as how much? First area is 900 into the gauge reading is 910, my dear student. You can check the values also. Here the first reading is 910. So if I move on to the next part, the area is common. The area is equal to 481.86 multiplied by the remaining gauges. What are the remaining gauges we have, my dear students? One is 930 plus 925 plus 895 plus 905 students. If you multiply this and if you divide the entire thing with the area, that is pi r square, that is pi into 30 square. If you solve this equation, you will get a value of around 912.191.2.56 value. So this is the average rainfall of the catchment. I hope you are enjoying the sessions, and remember, my dear students, the most beautiful part of GATE exam today, civil engineering, what I have observed is we are seeing some classical problems on particular topics, but rest of the 75% of the problems are repeated. I mean to say repeated in the sense conceptual, not the problem. The same problem never in GATE can be repeated, but the concept is repeated, my dear students. So here what I would like to tell you, my dear students, whenever you are solving the GATE exam, at Bangalore, IMS GATE Academy is offering offline courses, and we are coming live. We are at Vijayawada also, my dear students. Any kind of questions or queries, you can visit our Southern Circle, and we are giving you the complete free session, zero fee program. Visit our website imsindia.com, and remember, my dear students, we have an excellent team of civil engineers. We are providing the exercise book, we are providing the theory book, we are giving the intensive coaching on GATE for all the branches, my dear students.
Hello everyone, welcome back again guys. Okay, so I'm having few more questions of general aptitude and engineering mathematics. Let's approach to the question. So one question, one very simple question. Okay, this question looks like that the question is from PNC. Yeah, surely this is the question from PNC, but let's approach it. So we are having the question. There are 4 red, 5 green and 6 blue balls in a box. So we are having 3 variety of balls, 4 red, 5 green and 6 blue balls in a box. If n number of balls are picked, if n number of balls are picked simultaneously, then what is the smallest n? Then what is the smallest n that guarantees there will be at least 2 balls of the same color, that guarantees there will be at least 2 balls of the same color. This was an MCQ, guys. So we are having options also. Options are 4, 5, 15 and 2. So these are the options available. Now let me read out the question again for you. This is a very simple question. We can solve this question even without doing any calculation. Just read the question carefully. As it is given there are 4 red, 5 green and 6 blue balls. So if I want to make a box, here I can write down 4 red, okay, 5 green and 6 blue balls are there. So I can see that I am having the 3 varieties here. First of all, we can see that 3 types or three colors of 3 colors of balls we are having in this box. So if it is written, if n is the number of balls are picked simultaneously, then what is the smallest n? Okay, what will be the smallest n that guarantees that there will be at least 2 balls of the same color? So how many minimum balls we have to take so that we are having at least 2 balls of the different color? No, sorry, 2 balls of the same color. As it is very simple, suppose it means let's talk about the colors. As I'm having, suppose I just draw one time, so it can be red, one time. It can be green, it can be black, blue, whatever it is, red, green and blue. So if I just took one ball at a time, so it will be, or simultaneously, if I will take one ball from here, one from here, one from here, it will be red, green or blue, So whatever the sequence, it is not possible that I'm having at the first it will be red. Okay, it can be blue, it can be green, it can be anything. It does not make any difference. But okay, when I just draw 3 balls, it can be of the different color. It can be of the same color also, but I am not sure about the same color. But when I want to take the 4th draw, I am sure that in the 4th draw I must have the same color ball, because I'm having only 3 variety. भाई मेरे पास सिर्फ 3 ही कलर की बॉल है. I'm having only 3 varieties of color, red, green and blue. If I just take these 3 balls simultaneously one by one, one from here, one from here, one from here, then whatever be the ball I will take in the 4th draw, okay, whatever be the ball we will take in the in the next draw, in the 4th draw, that will be surely of the same color. That can be red, that can be green, that can be blue, but the repetition of color will be there, because variety हमारे पास में 3 ही है, and when we will draw the 4th one, तो कोई ना कोई तो repeat होगा ही होगा, right? So we can easily approach that the question will have the answer as in 4, because it is asking about at least 2 balls of the same color. Okay, if I check the options, 2 draws, it is not possible. In the 2 draw we can have both the different balls also, we can have both the same balls also, so we are not sure about this one, so we can just not sure. So when we talk about the 15, I think it is not also possible. When we talk about the 5, because before the 5 we can have the 4th draw also. So on the 4th draw itself we will have the repetition of color, whether it is red or it is green or it is blue, but surely the ball will be repeated, that is sure. So in this way we can approach the question, as I told you, without even calculation we can solve. This is a very simple question. Only and only time you will take, okay, in this question to read the question, to read the language, to understand the language of the question. Now let's come to the one more question. Okay, that is the question of sitting arrangement, circular arrangement. So there are 3 husband and wife pairs. So we are having 6 persons, 3 pairs of husband and wife are to be seated. 3 pairs are to be seated around a circular table. Okay, around a circular table. How many sitting arrangements are possible? Okay, how many sitting arrangements are possible so that every husband sits next to his wife, sits okay, we are having options also. 120. Second one is 720. The third one is 16. And the fourth one is 4. Okay, so we are having four options. So let's approach it. So this is a question of simple circular arrangement. So guys, had you approached it? No, it is not 120. It is not 120. Okay, let's approach it. So as it is given to me, we have to make a circle simply. In this circle, I have to arrange 6 persons, means 3 pairs. I can write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I have to arrange 3 pairs, means 6 persons. We can just rather, means we can have 2 options or 2 approaches for this one. Ki either I can just take H, means one pair H1, W1, S2, W2, S3, W3, right? This one. So one pair of husband and wife, second pair of husband and wife, and third pair of husband and wife. Rather doing individual arrangement, we can go for the, we can just make this as in one quantity. So it can be husband 1 and husband wife 1. Okay, this can be husband 2, wife 2. This can be husband 3 or wife 3. Okay, the number can be changed, है ना? So it can be interchanged. I will tell you these things also. So I am going to make, rather doing the arrangement of 6 objects, I want to do the arrangement of 3 objects only here. So if I want to do the 3 objects, arrangement of 3 objects in circular table when there is no starting and ending point, so the arrangement will be 3 minus 1 factorial first of all. So this will be my first quantity, this will be my second quantity, this will be my third quantity. Now first thing is clear, 3 minus 1 factorial means it will be 2 factorial first of all. Now you can say ki ma'am, it is not necessary na, husband will be here and wife will be here. They can change their position. Yeah, definitely. So they can have their internal arrangement. Yeah, exactly. So husband and wife can interchange their position. So there can be internal arrangement also for this group. So it will be multiplied with 2 factorial again. Similarly, internal arrangement of these 2 objects are also possible in this group. So it will be again 2 factorial. Okay, when we talk about this third group, internal arrangement is again possible. So it will be again for 2 factorial. So I want total number of possibilities here. So how many ways are possible? So it is nothing but 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, because 2 factorial is 2 only. So it is nothing but 2 power 4. 2 power 4 is nothing but 16. So we can approach the result as an 16 here, and we can write down the answer. First thing. Second thing, na, as someone is written as an 120 beta, na, these 2 options are never possible here. I am going to tell you, okay, by just seeing the question, by just reading the question, we can eliminate 2 options out of the given 4 options. Okay, look at here. As it is given to us, 3 total persons are there, huh? Okay, if I will do nothing, means 3 pairs are there. If I will do nothing, then the arrangement will be 6 minus 1, because total 6 persons are there. 6 minus 1 means 120 factorial. If there is no if and but, if there is no additional condition given to us, then the simple, okay, if it is asking about just arrange the 6 persons around a circular table, it will be 6 minus 1 factorial, 5 factorial, 120 will be my answer, if it is a simple question. But right now we are having some conditions also. So when we will put some conditions, then the total will be, surely the result will be less than to this 120 factorial. So that's why na 120 factorial will be not possible. And here I am having 720 beta, ये तो किसी भी हाल में possible नहीं है. It is even more than the maximum number. So that's why it is not possible. 120 is also not possible. 720 is also not possible. So these 2 options we can just cancel out by seeing or by reading the question. So among these, one will be there. So the right answer will be 16. This is my final answer, surely. Okay, so this is the question, and one question is from verbal also I am having. This is the simple question. The line ran the dash the page right through the center and divided the page into 2. So for this one we are having options First option is between. Second option is about. Third option is of. And the last one is across. So I hope you guys can tell me the result about this one. What is the answer? Very good. Very good. It is across, surely, na? Because we can see that the line run means we are just taking the line. So it is in a continuity. Okay, it is not a rigid thing. It is a motion. It is a continuity. So surely the result will be across. Okay, across the page. So it is not possible between the page, of the page, about the page. So the result will be across. Shabash. So I'm having few questions from engineering mathematics also. Okay. So one question is, yeah, here I'm having two questions from engineering mathematics, I think. Yeah, we are having two questions. So let's approach. The first question, as this was not mentioned in our engineering mathematics syllabus, but yeah, we can expect the question. The question is written as Cholesky equation, Cholesky decomposition. Okay, for the matrix A, when the matrix A is 8 minus 5 and A22. Okay, the element L22 of the matrix Lij is 1.968. This is the element L22. Okay, then we have to find out the element A22 of the matrix A. I will tell you about this one. So the shaded box we already approached. Who's that? Gadam Prasad. Ready? We already approached the question of shaded box. You can check. Okay, you can check in the recording. So we already approached both the questions of shaded box. Okay, area we already approached. So I'm having one is 11, second is 7, third option is 9, and the last one is 5. Okay, so as when we talk about the Cholesky decomposition, actually let me tell you about this one. So L into L theta. What is L theta? As we used to approach, L theta is nothing but conjugate L bar transpose. That is called the L theta. So L into L theta, according to the Cholesky decomposition, L into L theta will always is equals to the matrix A, where L is the lower triangular matrix. Where L is the lower triangular matrix, beta. So when we will approach here, so when we will approach this question, we can go with the simply we have to write down the options here. So we have to write down the matrix here. So let me write down L. L can be written as L11. Okay, this as I am going to write down here let me write down here where L theta is nothing but L bar transpose. Okay, that we already use. This Cholesky decomposition is especially for the Hermitian matrix. Okay, so L into L theta. This L theta is we can find out for any matrix. We can find out the conjugate and then we can go for the transpose. So this is called the conjugate. So we can write down the L. Let us assume the L as an L11. Okay, lower triangular matrix L12 and L22 is already given here. I will write down the value of that one. When I will go for the bar, means the bar of this one, as I can see clearly that here no element is imaginary. In the options also we don't have any imaginary element, so we can go directly with the transpose of this one. So we can directly multiply with the transpose of this matrix. So I can write down here L11, it will be L12, it will be 0, and it will be L22. This is the transpose, and it must be equals to the matrix A, which is 8 minus 5 and A22. We have to find out the value of A22 here. So you can confirm the data also, guys. So here, as it is given to me, the value of L22 element is 1.968. So I'm going to write down here the 1.968. Here also I can write down 1.968. By basic multiplication, we can find out the value of A22. So when I will multiply this first row with the first column, I will have L11 square, that is equals to 8. From here I can write down L11 is nothing but root of 8. When I will multiply first row with this one, तो उसे नहीं बनेगा. When I will multiply second row with the first column, I'm having L11 into L12 is equals to first row into second column, it will be equals to -5. So I can put the value of L11 here and I can get the L12. So when I will put here, so L12 will be -5 by root 8. Okay. So now I need to find out this A22. So A22 we will get by multiplying this second row to the second column. So when we will multiply second row to the second column, it will be L12 into L12, L12 square, and plus we are having 1.968 square, and that is equals to the required element A22 beta. So we are having the value of L12 we can put here. So by putting the value, we can write down the value as in it will be 25 by 8 plus 1.968 square, that is equals to A22. When I will solve this one, it will give me 6.99 something, na? It is. So it will give me 6.99 as I'm having options in this question. So the nearest option will be 7. We can surely go for the approximate root. These roots are not possible. The nearest or the approximate root will be 7. Okay. So here we can write down 6.99. So it will be approximately, we can go for the 7. Okay. So this will be my final answer. So actually this is not in the syllabus of civil. We are expecting these type of questions or these type of concepts in the EE or EC or IN type of means for the persons, but not for the civil. This is very unusual thing. We can see these type of question here. But now, so I hope the solution is clear to everyone. This was an MCQ. Okay, one question is also there from the null space. So we are expecting three questions from the matrix algebra here. Now this one null space question, I'm having two vectors 2 1 0 3 transpose and 1 0 1 2 transpose. We are having two vectors belongs to the null space, of a 4 cross 4 matrix. Null space of a 4 cross 4 matrix whose rank is 2. It is already given to us. The 4 cross 4 matrix rank is 2. So whose rank is 2. Okay, this is important point. So then which of the following vectors also belong to the null space? Vectors also belongs to the null space. Now let's see here. Let's see, we are having options. So the first option is 0 minus 2 1 minus 1 transpose. Second option is 1 1 minus 1 1 transpose. Third option is 2 0 1 2 transpose, and the last option is 3 1 1 and 2 transpose. Now beta, first of all we can check the nullity. As we know very well, nullity is nothing but the number of linearly independent vectors in any given matrix. So the nullity will be defined by the dimension, that is P is equals to n minus r. Nullity can be defined by for any matrix P is equals to n minus r. N is the number of unknowns, r is the rank of the matrix. Here we can see that I am having a 4 cross 4 matrix, so the unknowns will be 4. The rank of the matrix is given to us as 2. So here the nullity will be 2. It means we are having only 2 linearly independent vector. One very important thing you can learn from this question. So it is surely denoting that we are having only two linearly independent vectors for this particular question, and those linearly independent vectors are already given to us. Look at the vector. Okay, we don't have any dependency in these two vectors. Let me write down here. So 2 1 0 3 first vector, and the second vector is 1 0 1, sorry, 1 0 1 2. So I can easily say that there is no dependency, there is no mathematical relation between these two vectors. I can see if there will be a relationship, then here it must be 0, or if it is 0, then here it must be 0. So we don't have any mathematical relation between these two vectors. So surely these two are the linearly independent vectors. Now the question is asking about how means which one of the following vector also belongs to the null space. It means there will be one more vector, then there will be, if there will be one more vector, then that vector must be dependent on these two. 100% that vector must be dependent on these two. So this is the short trick, and we can easily approach the question. So okay, if you want to write down, suppose this is my vector y, this is my vector x, and if you want to find out the vector z, then that must be a dependency on these two. Okay, so if you want to write down alpha x plus beta y, you can go with this one, but even now there is no need to go with this. We can go directly because we are having options. So there must be any means whatever be the option we are having, but there must be any mathematical relation defined between these two vectors so that we can get the resultant vector. So we can see, suppose if I will solve here 2 plus 1, okay, it can give me 3, means either we can use plus or we can use minus here. If I will go with 2 plus 1, it will give me 3. I'm having 3 here. If I will go with 1 plus 0, it will give me 1. Okay. If I will go with 0 and 1, it will give me 1. Okay. If I will go with 3 and 2, it will give me 5. So it is not possible here. Huh? Now one thing, look at here, we are having 0 and we are having 0. But here I don't have the very first element is 0. So it is not possible to get 0 at the very first element by solving these two vectors. There will be no dependency. We can find out by solving these two vectors. We can, चाहे मैं कुछ भी कर लूं, I am not able to find out 2 minus 1 as in 0 or 2 plus 1 as in 0. So we are not able to find it as in 0. So this option we can directly eliminate. Similarly, here I am having 0. So we have to identify those places where we can approach directly. Rather doing the question in one page, we can approach directly the question to the 2 or 3 lines. We can directly get the answer. So when I will see here 0, so I can see, look at here I am having 1 and here I am having 0. So if I will go with 1 plus 0, it will not become 0, or I will go with 1 minus 0, it will not become 0. We can't multiply, we have to do here the plus or minus scalar thing. So it is also not possible. So A, C and D we already eliminate. Now look at the option B, why it is right, we can prove this thing also. So look at the elements, 1 1 minus 1 1. So if I will go with 2 minus 1, it will give me 1. 1 minus 0, 1, 0 minus 1, minus 1, 3 minus 2, 1. This is my option B. So this will be the surely my answer. This will be my answer 100%. We can approach the result will be this only. We can identify the next null space. You are asking about the next vector which belongs to the same null space. That will be this vector which is 1, 1, minus 1 and 1 transpose. Okay. So in this way, yeah, surely Alam and Aman Shah. Yeah. So in this way we can approach the questions like this one. So yeah, if I talk about the level of civil in engineering mathematics and aptitude, yeah, it was easy to moderate. It is not so tough, but that is one very important thing, one very important lesson you can learn for the 24 and 25, get 24 and get 25 students, that the questions, all of the questions of engineering mathematics and general aptitude basically means especially these questions are from the basic concepts. So if you are strong with your basics, then only you can approach. So if you have idea about the null space, then only you can approach the question. If you have idea about the circular permutation, then only you can approach. So you have to understand the basic concepts here. Okay. So the important thing is you have to be very, very strong with your basics. Okay guys, so that's all from my side. If I will have more questions, I will come again live. So till that you can continue with on our YouTube channel with the more technical questions. Okay guys, thank you.
Yeah, hello dear students. Yeah, how was your paper? Just let me know. I can see some of the students are here, right? So just let me know how was your paper. So the paper, I think it was easy, on the easy side, or it is on the tougher side. If we talk about the morning paper, it was quite easy, right? And this paper also, it is moderate. It is on the tougher side of the moderate, right? The paper it was in the morning session, it was on the lower edge of the moderate, right? Now again I am having one question from the geotechnical engineering, right? Just let me know, I am writing the data, just tell me if this particular data is correct. So this is your question from geotechnical engineering. So we have one question from geotechnical engineering, and question it is asked from Mehrhoff theory, right? So one question from the foundation engineering. So the properties of soil are given to you. So properties of soil are given to you. What are the different properties of soil given to you? Properties of soil are given you as the unit weight of soil, it is given as 19 kilonewton per meter cube. Also the cohesion value it is given, that is 25 kilopascal, right? It was mentioned that this is the cohesive soil. It is your cohesive soil. It means phi value will be equal to 0, right? Phi value was given as 0. Also some properties related to foundation are given to you. If we talk about the foundation, so it was mentioned that it is a square foundation, right? So it is what? It is your square foundation. Square foundation it was given to you. And depth of foundation is also given to you. Depth of foundation is given as 1 meter. Depth of foundation it is given as 1 meter, right? Okay. Also the allowable load, Q allowable, the allowable load it was given to you. The allowable load it was given to you as 500 kilonewton. 500 kilonewton. Yes or no? Right? Also factor of safety was given to you as, factor of safety it is given to you as 3. Also it was told to find out that this Q allowable, it was calculated on the basis of what? On the basis of your Mehrhoff theory. Mehrhoff theory, right? And while using the Mehrhoff theory, you have taken the shape factor, depth factor and inclination factor, they are 1. Shape factor, depth factor and inclination factor, it was asked to take it as 1. Clear? And it was asked to find out what will be the size of this particular footing. What will be the size of footing, right? If it is a square footing, we can say, let's suppose the width of the footing is B. Let's suppose the width of footing is B. So it was asked to calculate what will be this particular width of foundation. How many of you students have attempted this particular question? This particular question, it is also very easy. Just let me know in the chat box how many students have attempted this particular question. Right, we have discussed this particular concept also. Now, if we talk about how we can proceed, we have Q allowable value. We have Q allowable value, right? If we try to derive our particular this Q allowable value based on Mehrhoff, based on the Mehrhoff. So from Mehrhoff theory, we can calculate, the net ultimate value, yes or no? We can calculate the ultimate bearing capacity. We can calculate the ultimate bearing capacity. Now we know that this ultimate bearing capacity, it is the value of pressure. Here it was load, right? So that particular pressure, if we multiply with the area of the foundation, it will give me this particular value. Yes or no? That net safe value, as this is the allowable value, so net safe value, if I multiply it with the size of the foundation, it will give me the same value, right? So from there, this particular size of the foundation term will be there. From there we can calculate this particular value, right? So now we'll do this particular thing. So we know that according to Mayor of, if we talk about according to Mayor of, now I'm assuming shape factor, depth factor and inclination factor to be equal to 1, right? So what will be this particular value? This particular value, the ultimate bearing capacity, it will be equal to what? C and C, all factors are equal to 1 plus NQ into gamma into DF, these factors are also 1 plus half gamma into B into N gamma, half gamma B into N gamma, right? Now this is your, these are your bearing capacity factors, right? Now we know that they are the function of angle of internal friction and phi value is 0. So we know that if the phi value is 0, this NC value will be what? 5.14. This NQ value, it is going to be equal to 1 and N gamma value will be equal to what? N gamma value will be 0. If my N gamma value is 0, I can say directly this particular term will be 0. I can say this particular term will be 0, right? So we'll be remaining with this particular term. Also, to calculate the safe bearing capacity or net safe bearing capacity, I have to find out the net bearing capacity. So QNU I am find out. So QNU is nothing but it is the QU value minus, we have to subtract the surcharge load over the particular soil, that is nothing but gamma into DF. That is nothing but gamma into DF, right? So what was our QU value? It was our CNC, right? I'll write the values now. C value is what? C into NC value is, NC value is 5.14 plus gamma into DF as NQ value is 1 minus gamma into DF. Again this particular value will get cancelled out. It means this is my net ultimate value. That is nothing but equal to C into 5.14. That is equal to C into 5.14, right? Now if I calculate this particular value, what is the cohesion value given to us? The cohesion value which was given to us is 25 kilopascal, right? So just we have to put this 25 kilopascal into 5.14 into 5.14, right? And if you solve this particular value, if you solve this particular value, this is your Q net ultimate. Now we need the Q net safe value. We need the Q net safe value, right? So I can calculate the Q net safe value also. What will be my Q net safe? It will be Q ultimate and divided by factor of safety, divided by factor of safety, right? So it will be 25 into 5.14 divided by 3, as factor of safety is given to us as 3 value. Yes or no? Right? So factor of safety is given as 3. So we got the net ultimate value. We got the net ultimate value, net safe value. Clear? So this particular value, it is coming to be equal to 42.83. It is coming to be equal to 42.83, right? Now we know that this Q allowable value, it will be equal to what? It will be equal to your Q net safe multiply by area, right? Or we can say that area will be equal to what? Area of square foundation, it will be equal to B square. If my size of footing is B, so it will be Q allowable. So Q allowable, it was given to us 500 divided by this particular value, that is 42.83. That is 42.83. That is 42.83. Clear this thing? So if we calculate this particular value, so size of footing, it was equal to 3.416 meter. Right? I think the option, correct option which was mentioned in the paper, it was 3.4 meter. Clear? So this is your width of the square footing. This was the width of your square footing. Just let me know in the chat box if this was the question, right? Have you attempted this particular question? Okay. Now I would like to invite Prateek Mishra sir for the questions from environmental engineering and other subjects also, right? So we'll see some of the questions.
So welcome back, my dear students. Welcome back. So I am again back with a question of environmental engineering. The question was good. The question says that the theoretical aerobic oxidation of biomass. So the molecular formula of biomass is given as C5H7O2N, and for this biomass the oxidation reaction is given to us. The oxidation reaction for this biomass is 5 times of O2 gives us 5 CO2 plus NH3 plus twice of H2O. So this was the oxidation reaction given to us, right? So when I talk about the oxidation reaction, from here I can calculate the theoretical oxygen demand. So using this relation and assuming that the theoretical oxygen demand is equal to the biological oxygen demand, that is the BOD, right? The question says that the biochemical oxidation of biomass is assumed as first order reaction with a rate constant K to the base E at 20 degrees Celsius is given as 0.23 per day. The value of K is given as 0.23 per day, and this value of K is given at 20 degrees Celsius. Further, question says that neglecting the second stage oxygen demand from its biochemical oxidation, the ratio of BOD5 at 20 degrees Celsius to the total organic carbon is. You need to calculate the ratio of BOD5 to TOC, total organic carbon, and this BOD5 is at 20 degrees Celsius, right? So here I have the equation, I have the oxidation equation for this biomass. If I calculate the amount of oxygen required for oxidizing 1 gram of this biomass, that will be equal to the ultimate BOD of the system. That will be equal to the ultimate BOD of the system. So for calculating the ultimate BOD, what I can do is, I can simply write 1 mole of C5H7O2N requires 5 moles of oxygen. Requires 5 moles of oxygen, right? Requires 5 moles of oxygen. Quickly get the molecular weight for this C5H7O2N. So C into 12, so this is C is 5, so 5 into 12 plus 7 into 1 plus your 16 into 2 plus nitrogen is 14, right? So this is your total molecular weight of this biomass. This is the total molecular weight of this biomass. So this is in grams, and this requires 5 into 32 grams of oxygen. 5 into 32 grams of oxygen, right? So from here I can easily calculate how much amount of oxygen is required to oxidize the biomass, right? So the amount of oxygen required to oxidize 1 gram of biomass, so 1 gram of biomass, amount of oxygen required to oxidize 1 gram of biomass is equal to 5 into 32, and when you calculate this, it comes out to be 113, right? So this comes out to be 113. So this is the total amount of oxygen required in grams to oxidize 1 gram of biomass. So this is my ultimate BOD. So the ultimate BOD of the system we calculated as, so BOD ultimate of the system we have calculated as, this comes out to be 1.4159. So this is 1.4159 gram. So this is my ultimate BOD of the system, right? From this ultimate BOD and using this K, I can easily calculate the value of BOD5. So BOD5 is equals to BOD ultimate into 1 minus e raised to power minus K into 5. So this 5 is the time in days, here the number of days are 5, right? On substituting the values, so BOD ultimate is 1.4159. So BOD ultimate is 1.4159 into 1 minus e raised to power minus 0.23 into 5, right? On calculating this, you will find the value of BOD5 coming as, so BOD5 comes out as 0.9676. This comes out as 0.9676 grams. So this is your BOD5. So this is, we have got the value of BOD5. Now talking about how to calculate TOC, total organic carbon. It simply means in our biomass, how much moles of carbon are present. As you can see here clearly, the molecular formula for biomass is C5H7O2N. In 1 mole of this biomass, 5 moles of carbon are present, right? So you can directly calculate the amount of organic carbon that is present. So 1 mole of biomass contains 5 mole of carbon. We have just now calculated the molecular weight of the biomass, which is coming as 113. So 113 gram of biomass contains 5 into 12 grams of carbon, right? So this is 5 into 12 grams of carbon. From here I can calculate 1 gram of biomass contains 5 into 12 divided by 113 gram of carbon. So this is the amount of total organic carbon which is present in the system. You can just calculate this 5 into 12 divided by 113. So TOC comes out to be, total organic carbon comes out to be 0.531. This comes out to be 0.531. So this is my total organic carbon. I want the ratio of BOD ultimate to the total organic carbon. So the ratio of, not BOD5, I want the ratio of BOD5 to the total organic carbon. So BOD5 we have calculated. BOD5 is 0.9676. So BOD5 is 0.9676 divided by TOC, which is 0.531. You can easily calculate the ratio, and the ratio comes out to be 1.822. This ratio comes out to be 1.822. So this is my final answer of the ratio of BOD5 to the TOC, right? This is my final answer. So likewise, you can calculate the ratio of BOD5 to TOC. Now moving on to the next question. Next question says that it is a multiple select question of environmental engineering. Question says that in the context of water and wastewater treatment, which of the following statements are correct? You need to identify which of the following statements are correct. So, which of the following statements are correct? Which of the following statements are correct? So statement A is ammonia decreases chlorine demand. Statement B is phosphorus stimulates algal and aquatic growth. Next, calcium and magnesium increases hardness and TDS, that is total dissolved solids, hardness and TDS value of the water. And statement D says that particulate matter may shield microorganisms during disinfection. So these are the four statements given. We need to identify which of the following statements are correct, right? So statement A says that ammonia decreases the chlorine demand. No, my dear student, ammonia increases the chlorine demand. If ammonia is present, it will going to increase the chlorine demand, right? So statement A is wrong. Statement B says that phosphorus stimulates the algal and aquatic growth. What we mean by stimulus, it means it supports the growth of algae, right? So one thing we have seen when we have talked about the productivity of the lake, if any kind of nutrient is flowing into the lake, it will going to increase the productivity of the lake, that is the growth of algae in these lakes, right? So this phosphorus is a kind of nutrient which when supplied into the lake, it will going to increase the growth of algae. So yes, phosphorus increases the algal and the aquatic growth. So this option is correct. Next, calcium and magnesium increases the hardness and TDS. First, talking about total dissolved solids. So again, calcium and magnesium are the dissolved solids. If the calcium and magnesium concentration is more, the quantity of total dissolved solids will going to increase. Now talking about the hardness, my dear students, hardness is the property of multivalent cations, that is having +2 or +3 charges. We know that calcium is having +2 charge and magnesium is also having +2 charge, and these two ions are the major contributor of hardness in your water sample. So if calcium and magnesium is present in your water sample, they will going to cause hardness to your water sample. So this statement is also correct. Calcium and magnesium increases the hardness and total dissolved solids of your water. And last one is the particulate matter may shield the microorganisms during disinfection. When we talk about suspended solids, these suspended solids are the particulate matter which shields these microorganisms during disinfection, right? So for the suspended solid, one of the key impact was their shielding effect against these microorganisms. So if suspended solids are present, they provide the shielding effect to the microorganisms that may sometimes increases the chlorine demand or may sometimes reduces the disinfection efficiency. So this statement is also correct. So for this question, statement B, C, D are correct. So this is a multiple select question and you need to identify which of the statements are correct, right? So moving on to our last question, which is again a matchmaking type of a question. For a matchmaking type of a question, it is given that on first column and second column, accordingly you can match the options, right? So first is aromatic hydrocarbon, then I have carbon monoxide, then I have sulfur oxide, and last I have ozone, right? On the second column, for first statement, it is written as reduce the capacity of blood to carry oxygen. So statement 1 is reduce the capacity of blood to carry oxygen. So this is my statement 1. I'll make it as statement 1. Statement 2 is bronchitis, let me check with the spellings. Let me check with the spellings also. Pulmonary emphysema. Then I have third statement. Third statement says that damages chromosomes. And last one is carcinogenic effect. Right. So you need to do the matchmaking. So I'll also mark this as PQRS. So this is PQR and S, right? So whenever I talk about the aromatic hydrocarbon, these aromatic hydrocarbon in combination with chlorine, they form the carcinogenic compound. So this P is related with 4. Next, when I talk about carbon monoxide basically reduces the blood oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. If carbon monoxide is present, right, there can be a huge deficiency of oxygen in your body because it reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. So carbon monoxide is related with 1. Then I have this sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is related with your lung problem, right? It is related with your lung problem. So sulfur dioxide is related with the bronchitis or pulmonary emphysema, right? And your ozone is related with the damaging of chromosomes. So this is how the matchmaking is done. I'll just write P4 Q is 1. So P4 Q is 1. So P is 4, Q is 1, R is 2 and S is 3. R is 2 and S is 3. So this is the correct combination. Accordingly, you can select the correct combination, and whatever in your option is there, this is the correct combination, and accordingly you can select the option, right? So my dear students, we have analyzed the question that we got for forenoon and the afternoon session, and believe me, IMS Gate Academy believes in the authentic solution. IMS Gate Academy believes in deep learning, and IMS Gate Academy believes in giving our student the best of the content across the country, the best of the test series across the country, and best of the practice across the country that any student can have regarding its GATE preparation. We have a well-versed course of 8 to 10 months for GATE preparation. Along with it, we have the exercise book which is versed in level 1, level 2 and level 3 problem. And if a student attempts level 1, level 2 and level 3 problem, he or she can himself analyze how deep his or her learning is about a particular concept. We at IMS Gate Academy believe in about nourishing the entire curriculum for a student. We believe in that these 8 months, if a student gives for himself, he can very easily crack GATE examination with a good rank, and along with it for all the students that are studying in their second year. They even get a chance to appear in GATE examination for their third year and final year. So if you are staying in Bangalore, if you are staying in across the country, we have these different types of programs running at IMS Gate Academy. For the students that are staying near to Bangalore or staying in Vijayawada, we have the offline centers in both the cities. For all the students on pan-India level, we have this hybrid courses, we have this online courses, and we have this recorded video series as well. For last 6 months, my dear students, we faculties at IMS Gate Academy are constantly focusing on the exam pattern for GATE. We started with SMART method, Then we conducted the GATE Score Booster series. And finally, we conducted the quick revision series for all the subject along all the streams. And once you come back to these sessions, you will find that the majority of the concepts that are there or asked in the examination are directly asked from the series. So the student who has followed us constantly on our YouTube channel regarding all the series will surely did well. I am receiving a lot of texts from the morning of my students that how well they have performed in their examination. We have a dedicated Telegram group across all the streams in which we regularly post the question, we regularly post the quiz, we post all the upcoming updates of job notification, and we even conduct one-to-many mentoring session in that Telegram group. So the link of the Telegram group is there in the description box. You can join accordingly as per your branch. You can just check out the description box of this video itself and you will find the Telegram links for all the Telegram groups that we are having. Along with it, my dear students, we at IMS GATE Academy are offering a zero gate fee program in which if you just log in into IMS GATE Academy, you can just enroll in this zero gate fee program and without charging you any fees. We at IMS GATE Academy are giving you more than 120 hours of concept videos. We are giving you more than 120 subject-wise tests. We are giving more than 10 to 12 subject-wise tests. We are giving you 6 to 8 branch-wise GATE questions, right? GATE papers with full depth analysis. According to it, as you have faced all the test series while preparing for GATE exam and for all the upcoming aspirants, I would like to tell you one thing. We at IMS GATE Academy this year, along with the test series, we have provided the recorded solution to our students. And these recorded solutions have literally benefited our students in the last moment of the preparation. When they are attempting the test series late nights and still they are getting doubts in some of the questions, my dear students, then these recorded lectures are helping our students to get their concepts clear even at the late hours of the day. So, we at IMS GATE Academy just preach you all the best for the upcoming days. To all our aspirants, do well in your life. I hope your the GATE examination did well. Still, if your GATE examination doesn't ended well, it is not the end of your life. It is just a new beginning, right? So join IMS GATE Academy and we will just ensure that you will get the best of the content across the country. You will get best of the practice across the country and we wish you all the best from our side for your upcoming life. So do well, my dear students, and have a great life ahead. Thank you so much for listening patiently. I hope you have enjoyed both the sessions of civil engineering. Thank you so much.